Hello and welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the most unique tournaments of the summer here at the 2025 World Series of Poker. It's event 59, the Battle of the Ages inside the Horseshoe Event Center. I'm David Tuckman alongside Joe Stapleton today. And the final 8 out of a starting field of over 3,000. I mentioned the unique format of this. Yeah, Battle of the Ages. Day 1A, we had players age 50 and over. Flight B, under 50. Top 15% from each flight combined on the day 2. That was 461 players. And now, day 3, it's the final 8. And on top of it all, we are looking for a bracelet. Joseph Rowe is the only player remaining from day 1A. The 57-year-old looking for his second bracelet. And the youngest player in the Battle of the Ages here, Shrib Arinki, 28 years old. He's second in chips. And he is looking for bracelet number 1. And this is his very first World Series of Poker final table. Somebody who certainly knows a lot about bracelets, it's Alan Lay, who is looking for his second bracelet this summer. His third bracelet of his career, the 39-year-old, an absolute stud in the poker world. We'll take a look at the Poker Stars leaderboard. Joseph Rowe, as I mentioned, our leader, 34 big blinds. Shrib with 29 big blinds. You can look at the bottom of this, though. 6 big blinds, 5 big blinds, 4 big blinds. Pretty amazing stuff. Not a very deep final table, as you can see. The payouts here brought to you by Octopi Poker. Min cash, 461 players, took home at least 2,000. All of these players, though, will take home 42,000, minimum 335,000 up top. And I bring in my partner in crime here, Joe Stapleton, who you followed this tournament yesterday. What did you see yesterday? What can you expect today?
More short stacks than an IHOP, Dave. A lot of very shallow play and people clinging on for dear life. Now, not going to say that every player at this table is an amateur, but let's just say relatively amateur poker players at this table. No one wants to go broke. No one's really pushing the action except for Joseph Rowe. Went a little crazy on the last hand last night and gave up an even bigger chip lead. That ended up being 3 ways. And Joseph went a little nuts. We did lose a player to get us down to the final few you see in front of us.
Shrib Arinki with pocket kings.
1 million.
Just to the right of our dealer. That is David dealing today. Rowe, who you mentioned last night, wearing the Yankees cap.
What else is
our chip leader.
What else is he wearing, Dave?
I don't see anything out of the ordinary at all besides that.
Barely makes it. I chucked it there and barely made it.
You mentioned recreational players here. Akeem Marshall, only $11,000 in winnings. This is his first final table. In fact, 5 of the 8 players at this final table, well, it's their first final table.
Yeah, it feels like that. It plays like that. We saw a lot of folks pained over their decisions yesterday. Spots that, people like you and I are used to seeing folks get it in, shrug their shoulders. It is what it is. Not happening here.
6-5.
A little bit about Arinki.
Yeah, from San Jose, California. We mentioned he's 28 years old. Play PokerGO brings this to you. Degree in neuroscience.
Seems smart.
That's probably smart. Bracelet there on our screen. 6 of these 8 players looking for their first bracelet. Alan Lay looking for his third of his career. Rowe looking for number 2. Rowe actually won a bracelet just a couple of years ago, 2023.
I played with Joseph Rowe in Sacramento. Again, I'll put the gloves thing to bed after this. I would never judge why a person would wear gloves like this, and he seems like a very nice fella. But if he started walking toward me in the parking garage late at night, I am running the other direction.
$1.4.
Akeem Marshall.
Yeah, 41 years old.
Yeah.
And
Came to the final table with just about 13 big blinds. He's going to raise.
Way more than 1.4.
And I wonder if we got a little advice overnight, because we really haven't seen people taking any spots at all. This is folded on the button. So this is a standard raise in a lot of tournaments for a lot of players. But we haven't seen much of it. I haven't seen much of it leading up to this point.
De Jong. That is Sebastian de Jong, 41 years old as well. 645,000 in lifetime earnings, but this is his first final table here at the World Series of Poker.
And Michelle's painted himself into a corner here, has to call it off dominated.
A6, 6-5.
A6.
He's got me crushed.
Tegen 6-5.
Crushed.
A6.
A6 at risk.
A6 is at risk. That is Sebastian de Jong.
A6.
Not married, no kids. He likes golf, he likes crypto, and well, he'd like his A6 to hold up.
I feels like you're giving his bio like you think he's gonna get sucked out on here.
I'm just prepared.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case the 5 peels
I've got
off.
the eulogy here.
Nice one. In the window. The doggy in the window.
Okay, high flop here. Both
Scared
players
me.
both players get a piece of it.
I need another one.
You can see De Jong in the bottom left corner of your screen,
6 no
a
help.
sizable favorite.
I mean, that is a waste of a 5 right there.
Marshall looking for the 5 of spades.
Do I get to use it one time?
Not going to happen. The king of clubs. Marshall down at 4.6 million.
Right, what
De
do you
Jong
got?
up to 5.1 million.
Interesting that a De Jong won the first battle of the ages we saw.
A lot going on here at the World Series of Poker. As always, inside the Event Horseshoe Center, it's amazing how many different tournaments are going on at the same time as we take a look here. We've got event number 63. This is the $1,500 deuce to 7 triple draw 6 max.
Almost 9 people entered.
635 entered. We have under 50 remaining.
635 people entered a deuce to 7 triple draw
It's a
6 max
$1,500.
event.
It's like $1 for Vegas.
I guess if you're just in town, you're like, all right, whatever this is, I'll play it.
This is the 5K 6 max event number 62. 1,168 entries, under 200 remain. Eric Seidel, have you heard of him? He's still in.
I have. He's blocked me on Twitter. I'm kidding.
Among many, I'm sure many have blocked you on Twitter.
I got blocked and unblocked by Helmuth.
At event 60, well, we're at the final table here. This is the $3,000 limit hold'em 6 max. The story here is Scott Bowman, who is looking for his 2nd bracelet this summer, 3rd overall. He is currently top 5 in the World Series of Poker Player of the Year. And right now it's like kind of a 2-horse race, him and Benny Glauser, just kind of battling neck and neck.
We almost considered showing this limit hold'em event, but it turns out there was a paint drying festival we could have showed instead, so.
Anybody else have any hidden?
Small card, small card. Oh, 1 bigger card, 2 big cards. Oh.
So we picked up the action today with just 3 minutes left in level 35, so we are going to pop up right away.
200.
Because we weren't short enough. We're now going to pipe up to 300,000, 600,000 blinds.
Look, it's up to the players to consolidate stacks to get to a place where maybe some poker can be played.
Yeah, there are about 100 or so big blinds in play, which is
3.5.
Often
would
where
say
a tournament ends.
Yeah, maybe this 3-handed.
Yeah.
Very rarely
Matt,
this
I want you
much.
to verify the 5 million, please. Give me a double extra count on that.
So what we've got happening here is the color up. Not going to need certain colors after a while. We're not using the $1 chips anymore.
And I might be alone here, but I think a color up is incredibly sexy. I could watch that all day.
Oh, you like just watching the trading in of the chips?
I love it. All
And
day.
nobody wins or loses. You just get back what you put in. Although, with the race, you do sometimes win.
There you go. Take a look at what chips you want. You want the pink ones here. Those are 500,000. The blue ones, 100K. Made it really easy. We only have 2 chips in play. I am trying to get as much of the bios in as possible.
I mean, it's going to go fast.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about average big blinds now under 15.
I mean, I've seen charity events with better structures. Not that the structure's bad, sorry. I just mean deeper structures at this point in the tournament. Everybody knew what they signed on for. This was supposed to play as a turbo, 30-minute levels.
That's Ignacio Sager, by the way. Great story here. Both his father and his brother played in this event, and they both cashed.
The Sagrada Familia. Now, Ji Wang, as opposed to everyone else who's been playing super tight and reluctant to get it in, I did see Xi make some moves yesterday. Actually, bluff raised a flop, was maybe the only person who ran a legitimate bluff for the last 5 hours yesterday.
And she is all in for just 4 big blinds with ace-8. I mean, it's a great spot. You're not going to get much better than that. Again, blinds are 300,000, 600,000. That is just 4 big blinds.
These are the sorts of spots, by the way, Dave, where people were folding a lot yesterday. Standard spots where a lot of pro players are going to go, hey, I got king, queen. My equity is going to be okay most of the time, no matter what. These folks have been a little bit tighter in these situations, maybe specifically because of the pay jumps that are involved. You know, everyone's guaranteed 42,000 now. It's over 300K for first place. So, you know, it is sort of a game of reverse chicken at this point. Like, who cannot crash the car?
I mean, just surviving a couple spots gets you from 42 to 90.
Yeah, there's an error.
Wang's tournament life on the line if called. Her total tournament winnings just 56,000. 42 years old.
It's almost guaranteed to double that. Nearly double that at least. 42K if she busts right now.
Yeah, she's played some select EPT stops in France. Her focus has remained on the vibrant poker scene in Macau. And by the way, this is her first World Series Poker
Pretty
series.
impressive.
4 cashes, 1 final table. She's had a good summer so far.
Super impressive.
Marshall really in the tank on this, and he's going to let this go. You can't be too safe.
He was behind. We got Michelle and Maskill.
I don't think Wang's going to get any action on this.
Which is huge for this size stack she has.
Yeah. And you can see.
2.4?
Yeah, 2.4.
She's got him covered. He's got a lot of chips out there is the problem.
Well, and he only has 4 big blinds behind. Just trying to figure out, do I need to gamble here? I'm obviously behind. He's going to let it go.
We've yet to see anyone really take advantage of the power of live cards.
Yeah, I do.
That's a huge win. I mean, 4 big blind shove and you get it through is pretty amazing, because you think about it, she has added over 50% to her stack without seeing a
Really
flop.
not a good hand.
So I have some fun
Really not a good
statistics here,
hand.
Dave,
Do you?
about
Wow.
this event.
I love this.
I was curious to how the ages broke down. Now, of course, we don't know everyone's individual ages, but we know there were 2 categories, right? There was 50,
Listen,
50 and up.
I did a lot of prep. 3,074 players. I have everybody's age. But that's just
No,
me.
I meant of the entire tournament.
That's me.
Oh, you have them all. Sorry.
But that's just me.
You are very thorough.
Yeah, it's okay. Continue.
No,
Sorry.
okay, so we got 2 categories, right? We got 50 and up, and we've got below 50 are the 2 categories. You want to take a guess at what one of the... We know that 3,074 total entries in this event. You want to take a guess at the number, let's say the number of 50 plus. What number was it out of 3,074?
I'm going to go 1,480 50 plus.
Okay, you're close.
Am I?
You're close.
Okay.
So 50 plus was 1,686.
All in.
De Jong all in. Let's see what happens here. He's just got the blinds to get through.
Sebastian de Jong. All in for 4.8 million. Another hand that Allen would love to shove. Not sure he wants to call off again. Allen's going to let it go. Sagra not going to call this with 10-7. And if you love short stack poker, this is your thing. I mean, this is just your cup of tea.
Who doesn't? This tournament's playing shallower than my Tinder profile.
Nice answer.
Thank you.
Continue. Sorry. Okay, so I said 1480.
Button good.
Zhang here, one of the younger, one of the earlier categories.
Yeah. Businessman from the Netherlands, avid golfer, first final table. Live tournament winnings, 645,000. But as I mentioned, his very first World Series of Poker final table. Sebastian de Jong looking for it. First ever bracelet, 41 years old.
So Sebastian would be part of the 1,388 under 50s who played.
Ah, so the over 50s were more.
There were more over 50s. They made up about 55% of the field. 45% of the field being made up by the younger
1.5.
of the battle of the ages, which is interesting because there's quite a disparity at this final table.
You know, I would have thought if they had wrapped this event around the seniors event weekend, I would have thought that this event would have been like 2,500 over 50s and a lot less unders. But since they didn't wrap it around that, I thought we would get less.
Yeah,
That was my thought process.
It's still a. Oh, you thought it'd be less overall, not just less of a lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Rose in here with ace 10.
I figured people, you know, the over 50s that came into Vegas to play one event would choose the seniors event rather than,
Right.
hey,
it would have made sense to do them all together. But if there's one thing I know, it's the people who run this are very brilliant, and they had their reasons.
Easy.
I wanted a one color.
I don't want
1-1.
Yeah, I wanted one.
My hand was not good.
And this is Ignacio's son, Chris, who cashed.
We did see multiple members of the Sagra family in the earlier coverage. I was very confused.
I believe this is Ignacio's brother, by the way. I'm going to go on that. Because we mentioned that he's his brother and his father
That's
cashed.
right. Yeah, that's probably not the father. Yeah, good call.
Right, well, it's also not Ignacio's son, because Ignacio's only 28.
I mean, that would be something.
Yeah, really would be. Just going to put that out there.
I'll just say some people, it's hard to determine their age.
Yeah, it is very difficult.
Sorry.
Still 8 players remain here. Event number 59 in the 56th Annual World Series of Poker.
I'm fucking sleepy, man. My eyes are closing on me and stuff.
Again, not a lot of chips in play.
The fact that there hasn't been an elimination yet is baffling.
There's under 100 big blinds in play. Now, there's 97 big blinds in play.
One of you is going to need to leave. King, queen suited, fist pump. Fist punch, ship it. There's no raising.
Yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful spot. I mean, you're on the button with king, queen suited. This is a beautiful spot. Rinky not going to get involved. Wang probably should be getting involved.
That's a call.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But especially against the button shove.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and she is going to get it in.
Not surprised. She is not one of the tighter players at this
King
table.
queen versus ace 6.
So Ignacio Sagra does have
Ace 6 at
shot
risk.
covered. The 42-year-old Wang at risk with ace 6 has the better of it, but it's pretty close, 56% to 44%.
Must be. Diamonds is strong.
$7.5 million in the pot. There's a queen, there's a 6. Sagra now taking a commanding lead. You can see Wang's outs on the top of your screen.
King of diamonds.
5 of them, plenty.
And still just 5. Does not pick up any additional outs. Any ace, any 6. Or Sha Wang is out in 8th place. Jack of clubs not going to help her, and that seals her fate. Sha Wang eliminated in 8th place. Will take home $42,000. But as you mentioned, nearly doubles her lifetime earnings.
I am disappointed that she is the first one out.
Fun that you made that.
As one of the more fun players to watch yesterday, one of the only ones to get creative, to get a little brave. It would have been fun to watch her go a little deeper in this, maybe have a little bit more play than just having to call it off for 2.6 big blinds.
No, of course,
Yes, that is the fist bump happy.
I figured out was
Although I enjoyed your slow-mo better.
What? That wasn't me.
That was, oh, sorry. My bad. Take a look at the PokerStars leaderboard. Joseph Rowe still pacing the field at 18.8 million. Shrib on 14.6 million. Sagra now on 8.7. And, well, next person on the chopping block, so to speak, Alan Lay, has nearly $5 million in lifetime earnings, locked up at least 55,000 here, but is going to have to get involved at some point.
I'm trying to figure out what you're doing.
About 3 big blinds.
Cover.
So the average stack just
is
went
this
from
camera stuff?
15 to 18 big blinds.
Yeah, this is, I mean, deep stack poker now.
When I fly to LA.
This is why, listen, the better players out there need to be able to adjust.
Unless I want to do the front.
You got to be a mover and a shaker.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take small, you can go big.
Maybe
Just no blinds?
Maybe I played against in Macau. Yes.
This would never end.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Then I played,
When? Like a long time ago?
yeah, multiple years.
Yeah.
Joseph Rowe,
Maybe
his
like
wife Mary watching,
Yeah.
cheering him on,
Yeah.
looking for bracelet number 2.
In the Venetian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Then it's okay. Funny.
small world, right?
Yeah, small.
Or these players have to be just like kind of a breath, just a sigh of relief that, okay, I didn't get out first. I came in with
That's
like
right.
5 big
Huge money.
blinds. I've just made an extra $13,000.
For doing nothing. I love making $13,000 from doing. The only person who makes $13,000 from doing nothing is Norman Chad.
Does he get paid that
I want
much?
you guys to know, I chop.
Really?
There's
By the
no
way, I
small
can tell
blind
Norm
shop,
used
huh?
these headphones last because they are cranked up to 40.
One more left. Let's see if he tries to steal.
Give you respect.
I appreciate
Fold,
it.
fold.
I don't even know what
Show
the
the
hell I
camera
have.
at least then.
Hey,
Flip it, just flip it.
hey.
Yeah.
Oh, monster.
I would say not raising with
You're
a king.
defending for sure.
Is it
I gotta respect
Show
my elders.
respect.
Dave,
It's the battle of the ages.
don't try to
Gotta
figure it
respect
out.
the
It's the
elders.
They said
battle of
I'm
the
the only one
ages.
who's over 50 right now.
Wait, I thought you said you were 48.
No, I'm 57.
Oh, you were joking earlier.
Yeah.
What?
Damn, sorry, man.
Man, I swear, you guys, young people these days, they're so good. It's crazy.
Yeah, we are.
He wasn't talking about you.
People like us in our 30s, Dave,
Yeah.
in our
yeah.
mid 30s. We're so good.
So good.
Yeah,
Manny
by the way,
said-
I fell for that lie yesterday when Joseph Rowe told everyone at the table he was 48. Turns out he was 57, that little bluffer.
I would have bought it. No doubt about it. DeYoung with pocket 10s on just 6.3 million chips. Just 10 big blinds.
2.3 left.
DeYoung is going to
All right, wait,
bet.
2. No, sorry.
I really
3.3.
need him to win
3.3,
this
3.3.
tournament because I need my
Forgot
closing
how much.
line to
I didn't mean
be
to lie.
Battle of the Ages goes to DeYoung.
That'd be good.
I don't think
In
he's gonna do
fact,
it.
if he wins, I'll lay out and let you do it.
Thank you, please. Oh my
Done.
God.
Nobody really getting out of line either, which, hey, there's just not a lot of room to do it.
Let's take a look.
Oh, sorry.
What happened?
No, I just, and all 3 of them rolled like, that was kind of cool actually.
Can't do it.
Dude, you got a lady.
1. If I had an 8
DeYoung
or
wins
higher, I
again in the
would've
Battle of the
won.
Ages.
You got Queen 5 beat.
It's never going to get old.
Ha! Nice.
Nice hand.
I do.
I hope so.
Nice looking fella. Who does he remind me of?
It's going to come to me. Hold on a second. Stop. Hold on. It's coming to me. I don't.
Seth Rogen. This is so impressive, by the way, that you guys have a photo licensing budget.
Look at that. Boom. Who do you think's older?
Seth
You guys didn't call
Rogen.
your family.
Yeah.
members
Seth Rogen's
come down
like
and
close to
watch
50.
You guys?
Whoa.
I have my adopted son back there.
Okay. You have your son back there.
See the Asian kid?
My best friend's on a week.
Oh, I guess Seth Rogen's 43, which is
How old is he?
I don't
yeah?
know. No, he's a
Close.
year
Young.
older.
Fly you.
43.
No. They just throw
Still older though, you're right.
I don't know. Gambling.
Players having a good time, and you like to see this. Again, majority of this table making their first appearance here at the World Series of Poker at a final table, looking for bracelet number
San
1.
Francisco.
By the way, based on what I just heard from Mashal, I think we might have been showing Mashal's son
For this, like, oh, whatever.
earlier.
Well, I'm a
Who said that's my adopted son back there, the Asian kid.
Taxes, man. Yeah, you have to.
I just changed it.
I think that might have been Mashal's son,
Here,
not
7%.
Sagra,
They never do
who
it.
I think I would have recognized from yesterday.
But I changed it.
Yeah, me and him, we were roommates before, and like he plays too, and like we
Oh, okay.
final tabled a couple tables together, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's totally cool.
Arinky in a pretty good spot here. He's got
1.2.
Rowe on his left, which can be difficult, but nobody's really playing back, and it's one of those things where you can raise and
You got to be a little worried about Rowe being the only player who can afford to play a hand, being to your direct left. But I agree with you, Dave, that other than this exact situation, everyone else has been playing very straightforward, if not a little too tight.
this will be an interesting spot here. Does Joseph Rowe put a little pressure on the second largest stack? Because he certainly can. Second place, over 220,000. Seventh place, 55,000. And there you go. Rowe does not 3-bet or even call with 8-7 suited on the button.
Yeah, now it's smooth sailing. Home sweet home. What's the worst that can happen? Muskill calls for less. I mean, Muskill does have a hand. What's the play here with 10 big blinds? Peel it off? I don't think I can really ship it on a guy who hasn't opened yet today.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that nobody is really opening that much, although keep in mind, it's hand 9. Sometimes we jump to these conclusions, like, this is how they're playing, and we're like,
He does do it. Good for him.
It's
all
like
in.
5.6 total.
A little bit more, I think.
And this is a tough spot. I mean,
It's fine. I fold.
and Arinky's just going to let it go.
0.6, so.
Look at that.
That's why he's one of my
Fingers are
favorite
real.
players at this table.
Muskill gets Arinky to fold a better hand.
Like I said, I think they'll slowly fill in later.
But
They want to see you go.
NAPT Las Vegas is back at Resorts World for the 3rd year in a row, which means Stapes is going to be here as well. It
That's
runs
right.
November 3rd through the 12th with highlights including the 50K Super High Roller and the 5K main event. Plus, there's a $1,000 PokerStars Open at the start of the series and a 1K Women's High Roller. PokerStars players in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan, and even Ontario have the chance to win their way to the NAPT.
If I may add to that, this Saturday night at Resorts World, we're doing a little meetup game. I'll be playing a bunch of the other PokerStars ambassadors.
Free money.
$2, $5, so a significant amount of free money. And we're going to give away a main event seat to the NAPT at that meetup game through a pineapple flip out.
This Saturday.
This Saturday, Resorts World, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Just got to find a babysitter, but I'm there.
Come, yeah, look, you can either get, there's 2 reasons to come play. Come take my money, or come, you know, if you're one of those guys, like if I were to see that Stapleton in person, I'm going to let him know. I'm going to let him know how much I love him and how much I admire the humor that he puts into the game. Or whatever. Come say whatever to me. Come say it to my face.
There you go. That's this Saturday, 6 p.m.
Oh,
I haven't
3
seen
million.
Rowe play a hand yet.
On the
He's got
dot.
19 million. I feel like he's just adding on chips, and I'm like, has he played? I'm not really seeing it.
Was his exact MO yesterday.
Hakeem, all in for 3.1 million or just 5 big blinds, and it's going to get through. It's just, I have never seen shoves for like 3, 4,
Seven
5
deuce
big
game is
blinds
on.
get through more.
Long game.
In a way, it's adorable because it means so much to these players, right? The money, maybe winning a bracelet, it's got to mean a lot. Otherwise, you're not hanging on for dear life like this.
So they make jokes at court.
Yeah, certainly makes sense. Hakeem Marshall, businessman from San Fran, graduated from UC Davis, degree in psychology.
now I know the way you had. I would have wanted action, damn it.
Bay Area sports
Ooh,
fan.
I'm sorry.
And then flop goes out. Deuce, 2-7.
I mean, it couldn't. It's maybe not all awful.
I don't know anything about Bay Area sports. I just figured that's always like
Take it when you can get it.
like just an easy comment to make. Like, oh, I'm an Eagles fan. Oh, sorry. Even though they won the Super Bowl, I know that much at least.
I was gonna say you're a big sports guy, huh?
Sorry.
Action folds around to the button. Muskill with the 3 deuce of diamonds. The one problem here is that you've got to realize that Alan Lay just can't fold much. He's got just over 3 big blinds. He's in the big blind right now.
Right. You just don't want to mess with this hand.
No, I mean, Alan is going to get involved with pretty much any 2 at this point.
Goes all in.
And that's certainly enough. But I will tell you that Lay did not need much.
Hey, if you're
to
going
put
to
his
be
chips in.
if you're going to be behind
Oh,
in
shit,
a
he
big
got the
way.
goods.
I mean, DeYoung
10-6
with
or
live
6
cards.
Oh my God.
I'll say this. Let me
He did
rephrase.
have
wake
the
up?
goods.
If you're going to run into a hand, run into a
That's a
monster.
good way to wake up.
Yeah, I didn't have a 10 or 6 either. No rag ace? You never rag
10-6.
Now keep in mind, 600,000 of Lay's 2 million were already in the pot, which is why I was saying there's just not much he could fold here.
But make no mistake, this is a hand you would not fold for just about any amount of chips.
I don't know why all that ice keeps going over here.
2-time bracelet winner looking for his second bracelet of this summer. But he's going to have to win this and then spin it up to get in contention. So far, so good for Alan. Oh, 10 of hearts.
That's sweaty.
Spicy.
Yeah, Alan has picked up a heart draw, a straight
Spicy
draw,
turn.
has the overs as well, but now
Never easy.
behind.
Always a sweat.
Risking elimination if he does not catch up.
Need a jack.
Out to the top of the screen, 17 of
Queen
them.
or a jack?
Or a heart.
Lay, lady, lay.
Does hit the queen and does survive. But even with that,
Oh, he had a heart
Alan's
draw, too?
still
Yeah.
below 6 big
A lot of
blinds.
I can't see that.
Even with that double up.
But crucially is still in the poker tournament. Dave,
Let's take a look at this one more time.
Whoa, this guy won.
One guy,
This guy won. There you go.
Thank you.
I appreciate the gesture, but
Alan, 39 years old. I asked him, by the way, how old he was
He's got
before.
9 lives.
yeah.
Said hi to him. I've known him for a
You
long
asked him
time.
how old he was before, and he said 38.
Right. But it actually took him a second. He's like, how old am I? Oh, I'm 39. And he's
How-
like, this is, I'm going back to 40.
How old are any of us?
Poker Pro from Huntington Beach, California. He has been dominating the California poker scene for many, many years. Attended Cal State, Long Beach. Like I said, nearly $5 million in lifetime earnings. 2-time bracelet winner. Looking for his second bracelet of the summer. What a summer, by the way. We've had a lot of multiple bracelet winners. I mean, Bowman, I
I like
mentioned.
these cards. I
Well,
throw
Benny's
away.
going for the record now, isn't he?
It's just unbelievable. Benny now with 8.
8 total, but 3 this summer. Benny Glauser, I should specify.
I mean, you kind of wonder at what point.
Oh, the one going there.
It's weird because a couple of years ago, you never really thought of Benny as in the conversation of most bracelets of all time. But it might be. I mean, 5 years from now,
Some
he
of
could
us
be in
on the,
second place.
on the European scene have been a little bit keener to
We're
Benny's
aware.
talents.
Yeah, we're aware of him. I mean, I don't care how good you are. Winning that many bracelets is hard.
Like it's the same shit, right?
I guess
Yes,
not for Benny.
yes, it is. Sorry, I'm not going to be a contrarian here. Absolutely, of course it is. Of course it is. It's impossible. It is unfathomable.
Like Lexer Benny Glauser.
All 3 of
I
these.
mean, the guy's a maniac. What do you want?
I mean, he's still just 37 years old.
Yeah.
He'll always be a kid to me.
Former poker journalist.
What's it?
I think he's got a thing for hard rock
Both
too,
for
like,
5.
Yeah,
like
he's a
death
musician.
metal. Yeah.
Musician, poker journalist.
You have 5.2?
I've had him on my podcast. He's such an interesting guy, and obviously an online wizard. And despite so many good players out there, you kind of look at it and go, Benny Glauser, possible Hall of Fame pretty soon. DeYoung all in now on the button with the ace. Sagra going to think about it with Queen Jack, but let it go. And still, just 7 players remain under 100 big blinds in play. Taking a look here at Shriv, our youngest player at his first ever World Series of Poker final table. And across the table from him, the oldest player, Joseph Rowe. Benny has the most W Coop and scoops. Is that it?
That's right. He also is
Oh,
the
it's gonna be
highest
all the way through.
oop winning player.
Oop.
Most oops. Sorry, I'm the most oops player. He's won the most online poker championships.
Just unbelievable. And it's all because Poker News wouldn't give him a job. Because he was a poker journalist. That's all he wanted to do. And when they wouldn't hire him, he's like, fine, I guess I'll go play.
That's cool. I have the exact opposite story. I did get hired, and I'm terrible. Every hand there isn't an all-in call is defying the odds, by the way. It's like flipping heads 13, 14 times in a row.
And I do believe this will be an all-in, though. Jack-10 suited on
Alarm clock once.
5-ish big blinds.
No, no, make it. No, the first one.
Allen does have fold equity.
Do what the high rollers do. Leave one chip behind.
So I wanted to start at 10 because
3 million?
He's going to do that. Look at that.
I don't know what it means, but I like it.
My heel like this, like 8 stitches.
Joe will explain to us later why players do this.
Alarm clock.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you ended up.
Domination situation. Irinki will not be folding.
Nope, there it is. There's the call, and the 2-time bracelet winner, Alan Lay, at risk.
Ace-10 versus Jack-10 suited. We have Ace-10. Got Jack-10 suited.
Well, I thought
Shrimp did not get the memo that this is my job.
I did it right.
If he continues to do this, I'm
It's your job to go down to the rail and tell his friends what he's got. Get down there.
I'll go.
No alarm clock for me.
Oh, that was the
7.1 million.
13.
The ace-queen held up,
Friday
but
the
now
13th.
Alan Lay is behind. Can he catch up?
That's right, I have a movie.
He needs just the right number of hearts, by the way.
Audacity to take a shower on Friday.
Pretty tough to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
4 flush and you're out.
He's got some backdoor.
The 9 of
Stuff
hearts
working.
is a great card for Lay to hit. Unfortunately, the other two, not as much.
Ace of diamonds. It's too easy, man. Let's take it. Man.
How about the 8 of hearts for a sweat?
Okay, doesn't
Just
work.
make it fun.
I'll allow it.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
how do I do that? That's amazing.
That was Pippin to Jordan, really, because I did allow
We get
it.
diamonds, we get this card.
What a card.
Well done.
And suddenly Allen with
Jesus.
17 outs.
Too many outs, man, as they say.
Uh-oh, too many outs syndrome?
Whole deck.
I feel like it's the right number of outs.
Pair the board.
It might be
Ace
the
of
right,
diamonds.
right number of outs.
He called the ace of diamonds.
Fine with you.
All right, hold on. I'm going to try this on the next hand. Maybe we're all just magic.
Alan Lay will have to wait another day to get over the $5 million mark. The 2-time bracelet winner finishes in 7th place, takes home $55,000. And then there were 6.
Okay, and let's focus on the positive for these 6. Because we just had a 7 big blind stack, an 11 big blind stack, a 12 big blind stack, and a 12 big blind stack, all ladder up. Ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds.
Shriv having a good time. Called the ace of diamonds. It hit.
Just a ridiculous pay jump for everyone involved. Again, from doing absolutely nothing. Everyone now guaranteed $71,416. So everyone laddered up about $17,000. Dave, nobody gets $17,000 to do nothing except for U.S. Congress.
Just keep them rolling. Joe Stapleton, folks. He's here every night.
I am here, but nothing's plugged in most of the nights.
DeYoung on 1 point. I'm sorry, 6.7 million with the ace, 3 of diamonds, all in. He's going to get a nice shoving stack. Plenty of fold equity, and it does get it through.
Does get it through. You are psychic, Dave. Does get it through.
Nice hand.
Levels are 90 minutes long. Blinds 300,000, 600,000. We're down to 6. Rose still pacing the field. Orinky, though, right
Over
behind
under
him.
on how many?
Just about one big blind
pacing
separating
today.
first and second.
The field with 28 big
number?
blinds.
Of course. Take a look at our Oats
heads up- heads up's
overnight
gonna just
tournament
slide.
summary.
Yeah.
Before heads up.
Oats overnight.
think heads
Well,
up is
winning is
funner. You do
easier
like
with
less
20
than 10
grams of
hands, over
protein.
10 hands.
Please shake responsibly. Oats overnight.
I don't know.
3,074
Total, though?
entries, 6
I take
remain.
under
As
60.
you mentioned,
Way
next
under
player
60.
out will take home a
way,
little bit
really?
over 71.
When I mean-
We've
when I
already
mean-
done like what, 15?
No, I mean like
Seeing flops.
you see a flop and there's a betting on the flop.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably lower that to like 15 then.
By the way, I'm a big believer in the overnight cooking thing.
Okay.
So my wife
do you play
got one of those.
My wife, yeah.
My wife
Depends how quick you
got one of those
get.
slow
Yeah.
cookers, and she will
That's
put things in there
3.4.
before she goes to bed.
4 million.
And when we wake up, it's just ready. And by the way, the first time she did this, it blew my mind. I was
Yeah.
like, isn't the house going to burn down? What's going to happen?
Well, that's what I was going to say is that I'm impressed that you live with a woman who allows something to be plugged in overnight. Like, I've never lived, I'm like, turn the lights off, blow the candles out. Is everything closed? Unplug the TV, could start a fire.
Yeah, no joke. But, yeah, no, it's amazing that you wake up and the food is there. So I'm all over this Oats overnight stuff.
I didn't know it was packed with protein.
20 grams.
Hey, if you guys want to give me a sample of overnight, I can do some organic shilling for you.
I think we can make this happen.
You provide the oats, I'll provide the overnight. Bing.
DeYoung just shoved the ace-3. This time, though, he doesn't like it. And I understand. Nobody likes the clubs.
Is that what it is? Is club's just a bad suit?
I think he just shoved and got it through, and is thinking, you know
Okay,
what?
yeah,
I
no.
don't want to get out of line. Maybe they'll call me a little lighter. The
Sorry,
fact of the matter is, he actually has more chips now. It's harder to call.
Good shove them out.
You got more to lose, that's for sure.
Rinky, he got the raise in before. This time he's not going to do it. Certainly a hand he could be raising.
I know it's hard to put your money where your mouth is, Dave, but I feel like I could have raised there.
The risk is, I mean, think about it. You've got 28 big blinds. You can risk 2. If somebody 3-bets, you just fold.
Right.
Not a big deal.
But you're like printing money, as they say.
You are.
Because you just have to get through Rowe, who's in the small blind, so he actually needs a hand. And Mashal's just as short as everybody else. Folds the 6 deuce.
And anything even looking cool, it would have gone.
Oh, we know, buddy. Although 6-2 suited does look kind of cool.
Yeah, thought about it. It's like 8.
Huh?
It's like 8.
Rowe picks that one up. He's up to
Eight, you think?
18.5 million.
Yeah.
Still our chip
Yeah.
leader, but just 30 big blinds, as you mentioned. How do you play a 30 big blind stack? Well, you might want to check out Octopi Poker. It's the next generation study system for everyone, from casual players like Joe Stapleton to elite pros like Stephen Chidwick. It's fun to use, affordable, and full of features. Head out to octopipoker.ai now and check it out. Beautiful shot of the strip, and here in Paris. Level 37, 400,000, 800,000 now.
Blinds are up, my babies.
Yep.
Shortest stack now, 4 big blinds.
And earlier on, I was mistaken. I said levels are 90 minutes long. I actually meant we could get a break every 90 minutes. Its levels are every 45 minutes.
30. Oh, did it go up today? Because it was 30 yesterday. Total big blinds in play. Let's see. There's 23, 27, 36, 46, 54, 74.
He's
total
not
big
just
blinds.
a pretty face, guys. It's not just eye candy.
They
He
call
is
me the-
sitting here doing math. No calculator. I am a witness to this. There's no calculator in the room with me. He is doing this in his head.
Those of you who listen to my PokerStar streams know that I am known as the human calculator. I'm also known as Uncle Daddy. Pick and choose.
DeYoung folded the ace-3. He's not going to fold ace-king. And again, these pay jumps, so significant. We've gone over this table. Alan Lay, the one real veteran at the table. Joseph Rowe has won a bracelet. But really, everybody else at this table, just happy to be here. You can certainly understand these pay jumps. It's a $1,000 event, so a $17,000 pay jump, that's 17 buy-ins.
Yeah. Let's put it into real terms. 17,000, that's
Oh, wait.
half a semester of college
Why do I feel like it's shorter?
or a minor surgery.
No, just now.
You know, like having a Wart Landstoff or something, 17 grand?
Does it even cover half a semester?
At a state school?
Okay. If you're a resident, yeah, okay. Sagar picks up ace queen.
And you're real smart.
Counted out 8-8.
Ace
and
queen
put on
suited,
about
let's
2.
go.
No. Maybe
Yeah,
small.
Sagar on just 7.2 million, as you can see in the top left corner. Our Poker Stars, kind of call that a little banner. 400,000, 800,000, with an 800,000 big blind ante, meaning
Check that
2
back.
million to play in orbit. And the orbits come around pretty quick with only 6 players at the table.
Let's check it out.
Really what I'm focused on here is the 9 big blinds of Sagar. This is, I don't know what the counting is. This is just an open shove.
Very certain it's not.
No.
Sometimes it can get confusing because you're like, I've got 7.2 million chips. This is amazing. And then you realize, oh, I've got 9 big blinds.
That's fair.
So. that's 금방. I only have 10.
I mean, I've never played any tournament having 7.2 million chips.
Oh, I certainly haven't.
Fifth place.
It's a lot of chips.
Even right now.
DeYoung in the big blind, no action here.
That's fine.
Post-flop poker is so boring. This is so much better.
I don't know that we will ever get to a phase of this tournament where this won't be the case. Like, even if we went heads up right now, it'd be like a 35 big blind effective stack.
When I was preparing for this last night, I looked and I saw that Roe had 17 million
another
chips,
raise.
and I said, okay, it's short stacked. But I assumed that he had like 80 big
My
blinds.
precious
So
100,000.
I thought, okay, well, if he doubles up a couple of the shorties, we'll have some play. The fact of the matter is that Roe, even as the big stack, came into today's action with only like 34 bigs. There just aren't that many big blinds in play.
Oh.
When I was preparing for this last night, I finished an entire bottle of Scottish Grouse Scotch whiskey out of a plastic bottle and ate a rotisserie chicken over the sink.
That sounds delicious.
So we prepare in different ways.
Yes.
All in.
Marshall.
There you go. That's what you're supposed to do.
No hesitation. I see the ace, I see the queen, I'm all in. And he is all in, by the way, for under 4 big blinds.
I would have just needed to see that it was red. Now check this out, gang.
It's the prettiest hand I've seen.
When you're moving in with these big hands and not getting called, what does that mean?
Good.
That maybe
Nobody home.
That's
you
it.
could
Am I
move
that
in
tight?
with lesser good hands and pick up some
We
chips.
all read it.
Just saying.
Hakeem, back up to 5 million chips, which is just over 6 big blinds. Take a look at a tournament update brought to you by Splash. Event 59, the 1K Battle of the Ages, 3,074 entries. Came back day 2 with 461. Such a unique format where the over 50s and the under 50s played day 1 on their own, then they combined.
And on the third day, they kiss.
Yes.
Wait, no, that's different. Sorry.
7 of the 8 final tablists were from day 1B, but not really like the traditional youngsters, as you might imagine. I mean, we had a couple of 41-year-olds, a 42-year-old here.
As you would imagine, they are from the center of the age groups, really, right? From 21 being the minimum to, let's say, 80 being probably around the maximum. Oh, no. Oh, the people in their like late 30s, 40s are doing their
Easy
best,
money.
huh?
Take it.
7 deuce?
Nuts, bro.
Given what we
ace.
know about the demographics of poker now, it makes sense that that's where the majority of the skilled players are.
I mean, the funny thing is that senior events now are not what they were. I mean, a lot of really good poker players are now over 50. The 5K seniors event earlier this summer won by David Baker, the original.
Right, yeah. Somebody said that because he won the seniors event, you don't have to specify that it's ODB.
All in.
Goes all in.
5 million.
Marshall all in for 5 million. Maskill, King 10 offsuit. Again, a hand you probably don't mind shoving, don't love calling off, and his hand goes in the muck.
Fold.
And
Big blind? Nope.
Hakeem's going to take that one down, it looks like. Joseph Rowe, a little frustrated.
Rowe.
Does let it go.
Picking him up.
Now a big stack. After 2 hits.
You get 2 opens, you got
Right? Like, now you're just competing with the big boys. It's just, I wish there was more poker to play. But
crazy tournament. Sick.
that's what it is.
Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
It's kind of
Not my
fun.
preference, but
It's exciting.
Round and round, round. we go.
2025 World Series of Poker brought to you by
I gotta be
Splash.
honest, it's-
These players
they're watching us.
maybe not
Why do you guys
splashing
think it
around as
went
much,
3
but
days instead of 2?
certainly understand
Like,
why.
this was the most tanking
Maybe
I've
not
ever seen in a
splashing, but
tournament ever.
Really?
maybe
Early.
wet.
Like, I understand
A little
it late.
damp
but
at least.
Early.
I didn't really see much, to be fair, at my tables, but maybe it was just
Yeah,
different
a lot of
experience.
these guys just.
Well, I mean, there's got to be a reason why it went from 2 days to 3 days.
My life, my skill.
All in.
Close all in.
All in, 5.3 million. No action, no action.
And again, to your point,
Ooh.
all these situations where you're seeing somebody, you're seeing these get through, and you have to think to yourself, well, I'm getting it through with Ace King. Do I actually need this hand though? Because I'm not getting called anyway.
Yeah, well, Rowe may put an end to that right now. He seems a little interested with 10-9 suited. And this is pretty characteristic of him, that he will play quite snug for a while, and then we'll just do something a little bananas.
Now, decent
He's-
chance the gloves are telling him to do it.
He's gonna, he's gonna get away this time.
Okay.
You can tell Mashal's about to lose his
I'm
mind.
like you. I pick you up with a good hand. I'm just saying. Like, what do you want me to do?
Nice hand.
I'd have
Jack
given you some
Masco,
kind of action if they were
31 years
prettier.
old, stacking those chips. He's up to 7.3
They were prettier
million.
cards. A little bit of action.
Good to
Pick up
see
the
them all
blinds,
having a
put
good
'em right back in.
time. Take a look at a Jack
Can we just, like,
Maskill
scoot it?
bio, brought to you by Play Poker Go. Poker Pro from London, England, high stakes cash game player. Graduated the University of Edinburgh. Degree in economics.
You know, they raised the price to go to University
I
of
wonder if
Edinburgh.
this is fun for people to
Like
watch.
2,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's something.
It's gotta
It's like
be
maybe
terrible.
5.
Yeah.
The way they.
Oh, wow.
By the way, one of the
50,000
best
people.
schools in all of Europe.
We can't 3-bet each other or like
Yeah, we're just-
play back or just shove.
Hey, it's a skill game.
Somebody can
It
correct me
wasn't
if I'm
all in a
wrong.
full tournament.
I know people
Two
do,
guys
and
to
I'm
get
sure
some cards.
people will on X or Twitter or whatever you call it these days.
But even then, how long do you think
when I
heads
was
up will last?
dating a British girl many years ago, she
Ew.
told me
Blinds will go up.
that it was
Yeah,
like $1,000.
It was free for a very long
Yeah,
time.
and then it was like 1,000
Yes,
pounds.
that was a big deal when they started charging 1,000 pounds. Yeah. Pocket yaks for Sagra.
Ignacio all in. This has been a case, whoever's first in the pot wins the pot more often than not. And again, this is going to get through. Despite the fact that it's just an 8 big blind shove,
You got to show. They both showed.
kind of just waiting for
Huh?
two players to pick up a hand.
Just want to show. I'm just messing with you.
Maybe after you look.
After I look. Yeah.
Button move.
Yeah,
Now, Dave, if you want, I can crank it.
What shape?
Now, I know that we don't work together a lot, so you may not know about
one?
my cranking abilities. I bring a machine with me. It's a cooler machine. And if things go too long without a big hand happening, I crank it. Get real sweaty,
Fun to play in
but I'll
cash.
crank it real fast.
Show one
Let's
post
do it.
up.
You know what?
Crank it, the cooler machine. All right, I
I
have my
might
mic
be
off for a second. I get a little sweaty, so just
Go ahead.
Nice.
No limit.
sometimes it's hard if I'm distracted.
Fair enough. He is sitting here cranking away.
I guess bigger.
Okay.
field.
I did it.
Okay, there you go. Listen, it's been a pleasure this summer. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Hold on, I just need a
haven't had
second. Shh, I just need a second after I crank it.
Okay, fair enough. Do your thing. Action folds around to the blinds. Maskill in the small blinds.
need to reflect.
Suited.
anything like that on the video.
You can certainly make an argument where he just goes all in here and just tries to, you know, force De Jong to pick up a hand.
I was hoping like, oh, I hope they leave that out. Is what I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking that. But I was.
We'll see if this crank has any effect on this hand.
DeYoung has him covered, which is one thing that would have me a little bit reticent to do anything funny here.
But DeYoung's only got 10 big blinds. There's the all-in.
Here by pure luck.
DeYoung's got a pair.
And DeYoung,
I got here by pure luck.
you don't want to hear that question. Hey,
don't
it's a
wanna
pure
go
flip
just-
at least.
There was one
Well, that's the
hand
thing
that
with threes.
5 something.
You're never way
I
ahead,
call blind.
really,
There
right?
we go. Oh.
And I'm sure somebody out there is going to point out, what about when the
10-4
guy's got
versus-
deuces or
who
ace
has
deuces?
one?
Yes, I know.
Me.
But generally speaking, when you're calling out
10-4
for
is at
threes,
risk.
you're hoping it's a
10-4
flip.
against pocket
So
threes.
Dave, you know when we do these flips, I like to make a comparison to two other things that are sort of like a flip. For this tournament, I
You
have
want me to tell you what I
prepared
threw away?
a battle of the ages type flips.
No, no.
So something that's appealing to younger people, something that's
I want the
appealing to
spread too,
older.
come on.
So in this case,
This is
wants the
this is
smoke?
the poker
one of
people
these
wanna
two hands
see.
has a
10-4
slight
versus-
mathematical advantage, like TikTok versus having grandkids.
Él tiene para 3.
Masco, the 31-year-old, at risk with 10-4
It's a race.
of hearts. And yes, 48% to 58%. 50%, pardon me. DeYoung has him covered,
Oh.
but not by
Heart in the
much.
window.
Threes are good.
All I see is 3 counterfeit candidates there on the flop.
Why aren't they calling
I
for the
just hate
4?
Small pairs in the
Eight of
situation.
hearts.
I mean, I'll take.
Yeah,
You're never in the clear until it's all over.
Hey, queen jack. It doesn't even have to be hearts.
And it is a heart, and what a card it is. Masco picks up a ton of equity here.
Jeez.
Always a
Jack, a heart, a 10, a 4.
Yeah, Jack for Jack, exactly.
Big smile on Jack's face. Can he hit?
Love this game, man.
He cannot. The threes hold.
That's fine.
And that's a big hand, Jack Masco. 31-year-old,
Nice call, brother.
eliminated in 6th place.
It's a Muskill game.
He has him way covered.
He'll take home $71,416 for a 6th
He has
place
him way
effort.
covered.
As he exits stage left. The real story, though, Sebastian de Jong.
Okay.
Suddenly now puts himself in a situation where maybe
It's about a
he
million.
can win his
It's about
first
a million.
race.
It's about a
He's up to
million.
14 million.
17 big blinds. It's luxurious.
Thank you for.
He could even raise fold a hand.
We have what? We have 3 players
Yeah,
now?
way covers like a million. I go.
So Rowan and
Things like
Rinky
right now,
are
really.
tied at 20 bigs apiece, 17 million each, and DeYoung is in second/third after the two of them.
Yeah, we're
Thank you, dealer.
Answer.
certainly situations where you could raise fold.
Oh, 제 가서 다행이다.
No doubt about it.
I thought you were gonna.
You can even 3-bet
제
bluff.
가서 다행이야.
Yep.
Crazy.
Sure.
What else could happen here? Take a look at our PokerStars leaderboard. Joseph Rowe, still our chip leader, but it is tied. Trib Rinky is up to 16.5 million as well. Sebastian de Jong, courtesy of that last hand at 13.9 million. It is Akeem Marshall, pardon me, on 5 million, who is bringing up the rear.
Nobody wants Marshall no more.
The remaining 5 players, all guaranteed over $90,000.
Hi, Tiger.
What a sweat.
Rut-row. Hey, another ace-queen suited. That is the only hand players are allowed. By the way, how good was my
5 million.
cranking?
Oh, that was really good.
It was a little one.
Listen, I called the 8 of hearts earlier. You cranked. It's clear we have magic. Ooh, Sagar's got king queen.
Oh, there's still some afterglow from the cranking, I think.
And this is a shove from the button. I mean, we can see
5 million?
that Sagar's way
5 million.
behind, but
Let's dance.
I called.
you've got to imagine that king
Good call.
queen is good
Let's go.
here more often than not. It just turns
Ace
out it's
queen
not in
against-
this particular
Ace queen
spot.
versus king
11.2
queen.
million in there. It is
Ace queen at
Akeem,
risk.
whose tournament life was on the line with the ace queen.
Domination situation.
No, rey dama.
Tiger bringing in the cards. The triangle next to the player who's at risk.
Of course, his name's Tiger. King is very bad news for Marshall, who is at risk.
No king. Sagar does have the queen of hearts.
Yeah, there's some sweaty turn cards here. Another straight card or heart.
Ooh.
It is a straight
Don't
card.
do that to me.
It is actually.
But
Sagar goes from
still
3
a
outs
slit.
to 4 outs. Any jack will do, as he'll make Broadway. Not a jack. Deuce of clubs on the river. The ace queen holds. And now
Sorry.
Ignacio down to
You need to?
3.4 million.
It's fine.
Hakeem up to 11.2 million.
Just unlucky. It's like running aces into kings into aces at this point of the tournament. There's absolutely nothing you could do there. You have to call it off. You're going to lose most of the time when it's that matchup between hands. And it's frustrating to be on the business end of that, but you got to take comfort in the fact that you did exactly what you're supposed to do.
You can see the wince when he sees the cards. I mean, really unlucky. You know, when your opponent is on like 6 big blinds, think about all the hands that he might be shoving from the button. And
Yeah,
for him
of
to have you
course.
dominated is just
And
pretty
even
gross.
ones that you're behind who you're pretty happy to see, like ace-7, you're fine with it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Pocket 8s. I mean, there's so many hands that he's shoving from the button that king-queen is doing fine against. Really unlucky there. And as you said, just a hand that plays itself. Now, you promised me that this row guy was pretty wild, and we have not seen that. Now, 24 hands
Hold
in.
on a second. I didn't say he was wild. I just said that every once in a while he does something wild.
You mentioned that this is the kind of guy you want to go out with, okay? You want to party with. That's what you said. Let's roll
No,
back.
he's the
We can
kind of
roll
guy.
the tape
He's the
back.
kind of guy I'd want to commit a crime with. I know he's not going to leave any fingerprints.
2.4.
Rowe got to pop it up to 2.4 million. That's 3x, by the way. It's a pretty big open. Oh, DeYoung's got 7s. And with this big open, this is kind of awkward for DeYoung.
He does tend to open pretty big, and not with great hands when he does it.
Just folded king queen in that spot under the
16.5.
not yeah. Because there's so much after that.
I think given how tight Rowe has been, I don't think that we've seen him open a single pot. I would be a little worried here, especially with a stack big enough to protect. I don't know that I could just ship it, Dave. It's 16 big blinds. I guess there's no other way to play this if you are going to play it. But Rowe's been so tight.
Look at
Good
this
for
play.
him.
I love it. Sebastian DeYoung puts it all in. And that will actually launch DeYoung into the chip lead once Rowe folds, which we imagine will happen.
Tengo 3 millones de fichas.
How much is that right there?
Water.
$5.5.
Me, Joe, and Netherlands guy are tied. It's not like
The fact that Joseph Rowe hasn't decided what he's doing yet in this situation, or hasn't acted. Maybe he has decided. He has decided. He just hasn't acted.
He's got it. He's like got 4.5.
I mean, what am I doing? Sure, no, call, please. This will be insane. This will be great.
Yeah, we really haven't seen a lot of 3-betting. But as you predicted, when that man right there, Sebastian, picked up some chips, now we have a couple of players here, 3, that can raise fold. And you wonder if Rowe is kind of thinking to himself, well, he just picked up chips. Is he making moves, or did he actually have a hand? And unfortunately for Joseph Rowe, he just did not have enough of a hand to kind of go with.
Gotcha.
Joseph Stapleton, Stapes. I'm David Tuckman. We're in the booth here for the 56th Annual World Series of Poker event. 59 is down to 5. Remaining 5 players, all guaranteed over 90,000. Up top, 335K.
And we should mention, this is a $1,000 buy-in event. So even though those numbers are a little smaller than you might be used to hearing in some of the no-limit hold'em events here, for a 1K buy-in, that's just ridiculous money up top.
DeYoung going to stay active now. And again, I mentioned this earlier. While it's his first ever World Series of Poker final table, he has some experience. Over 600,000 in lifetime earnings from the Netherlands.
Nice, huh? So far today, no, like no betting on the flop yet. No, not yet. Hyper turbo.
Has there been a flop bet?
I do not believe so. I believe all of our action has been pre-flop.
If you're watching poker for the first time, it's not always like this.
Well, I mean, you're probably thinking, imagine you're watching it for the first time and you go to a coaching site, right? And you're thinking, okay, and they've got a whole section on post-flop play, and you're like, what's the point of this? I'm going to waste my time with this post-flop garbage.
Although I do think that learning about push-fold ranges is something good to learn early on.
Well, if you want to be good at tournaments, you have to.
Yeah.
At some point, if you're playing
You're
tournaments,
going to be short-stacked.
Or your opponents are.
Yeah.
Either way, the effective stack will be short.
So Sagrat knows to move all in here, King Jack suited, and isn't going to get looked up. Is going to pick up, is going to like basically double up from shoving.
Yeah, I mean, he's all in for $3
What's that,
million,
three
which is
something?
under 4 big blinds. If he wins,
3.5, you said?
he's going to add
Looks like
2/3 to his
3.5.
stack. That's just insane. And I don't even, I mean, you can call blinds sometimes, but if your opponent's shoving
Can't
4
do
big
it.
blinds and you only have,
Let's
you know, you only have 12,
If it was suited, maybe. You know?
you can't call with 4 high.
Then it's go time. Shit.
Oh, Jack Maskell's back. That's cool.
Yeah,
Nobody
you think
loves
he's
it. Nobody
hate
loves it more.
watching?
4x the bet.
He's just like, oh, that Joseph Rowe, he better not win.
Dump his chips back for him.
Let's get him, boys.
He cashes out, collects his money, and he's just, he's going to watch.
I would come back to anti-rail. That's the only reason.
Actively cheer against everybody.
Yeah, oh, I wish they would all lose, absolutely. Plus, I wouldn't be back to the table this fast because my line of backers and people I owe money to, I'd still be paying them all out right now.
Roll on the button with the ace.
Joseph Rowe, come on, you can do this.
Yeah, and things have not gone his way. He's down to 15 big blinds. Remember, he started this final table with 34 big blinds. Really hasn't had much go his way. Just had to raise fold with the 8-7 suited.
And a lot of folks would just shove there, but DeYoung is in the big blind with a stack that covers.
Oh, and look at this. Does Rowe get himself in trouble? How does
Yeah.
this one play out?
This is now. Remember, I couldn't find the nerve with the sevens. This I would. On a button raise.
Well, it's also now DeYoung's got him covered by 7 million chips.
Correct.
I mean, if somehow, I mean, ace-10 just a big hand. 5-handed, you're in the big blind. You got a button open. You're just printing by shoving this. You know, and the times that Rowe does have a big hand, okay.
Oh, a snap call.
Yeah, I had a feeling Rowe is not going to get. He's like, that's it. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm not getting pushed
versus
around
seven.
anymore.
Ace-7.
It's pretty even. I don't know who has more.
I think I have more.
You have
Like
more?
50,
DeYoung has
60.
a lot more. When I
Ace-7
say a
at
lot,
risk.
I mean 9 big blinds more.
Yep.
This is the biggest pot of the night so far. 25.4 million in there. It's ace-7 versus ace-10. And our final table chip leader at the start is at risk.
Domination situation.
Yep. Joseph Rowe. Is he going to be row your boat out of this casino?
Or will he be rolling in the deep?
No 7 out there. DeYoung does pick up a gut shot to Broadway.
Broadway could chop this pot up if we put 4 of them on the board.
Yeah. Well, we've got some chop outs now.
Pair the king or jack. King, jack, or a 7.
3 works too.
Rowe can win it with a 7.
This looks
Got
better.
some chop outs.
That's right.
25.4 million, and that man's tournament life on the line. The 6 of hearts is not going to chop it up.
That's hand, man.
DeYoung's going to win it. And Joseph
Big
Rowe,
game.
the 57-year-old, had the weight of
Yeah,
the
Congress,
entire
just
day
said
1A on his
it's
shoulders. He was
more.
representing that entire flight. He has been
Man,
eliminated
I
in
feel
5th
bad
place.
like I contributed to this.
I guess we should call Sebastian DeYoung the United States Supreme Court because he just eliminated Rowe.
You went there.
Oh, he's got way more than me.
It's a fact.
By the way,
Yeah, he got way more. Than me.
you earlier on you mentioned, if DeYoung wins this, you called that, and he
Nice.
now has 32
Nice turnaround.
million
Didn't
chips,
how
40
much it
big
is the
blinds.
shortest?
He did, yeah.
Joseph Rowe
He did.
taking the painful walk out.
Chip leading.
Obviously,
Nice.
you look back at this and you're not going to be disappointed.
Well,
you
officially, I
finished
was
in
second in
fifth. You took
chips,
home
but-
93,000.
but I
But
was
the
on
start
the
of
big
today,
blinds, like,
coming in
yeah,
as a
yeah,
chip
yeah,
leader,
yeah.
this has to be disappointing.
Very nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Good news for the remaining 4 players. They're all guaranteed 6 figures.
Did ladder up quite a bit, Roe did, considering we came here with 8 and he finished in 5th. But yeah, absolutely. You're not going to feel great about that.
Look at our PokerStars banner at the top there. DeYoung with 32.4 million chips.
4 million, right?
He has more than 50% of the chips in play.
Well, maybe DeYoung can do what Roe couldn't.
Shriv thinking what to do with 5s. Again, huge pay differences between 4th and 2nd. That's got to be on Shriv's mind.
Yeah,
2 million?
I think with Sager on 6 big blinds, that just a raise here is preferable to shoving.
And what does Hakeem do? And start thinking, how does this play out if you start thinking ahead?
It's a similar situation here, right, Dave? In that Michelle's got a monster, but he's got players to act behind him that have him covered, and there's a player out there with 6 big blinds.
$42,000 pay difference between 4th and 3rd.
I think I'm just going to get away from this, Dave, in this situation. At this point, here's the thing. Michelle's got 11 big blinds, not a lot, okay? But it's also, he's already not in a great position to win the tournament. I would be trying to ladder up as much as I can.
Wow. Well, Hakeem plays along the same lines as you. I think I'm probably shoving that, but there's a reason why I'm in the commentary booth and not at the table.
Look, we're both at the commentary booth, even though we both have one side of an argument. And it's just different strokes for different folks there. I'm sure there's a correct answer, and yours is probably closer to it. But I can more get into the minds of a player like this in the biggest spot in their entire lives in a
Level
1K
was too long for you.
tournament.
It's a good level
yeah,
for you.
I can certainly understand it. And there's that beautiful bracelet. That's what the player who gets first will get. That and $335,000. So we look at our Octopi Poker payouts.
Yeah.
Our latest
13.
elimination.
14 points.
Mr. Rowe, Joseph Rowe, taking home $93,820. Next player up will take home $124,000. And to your point, I completely understand the mindset of the difference between 4th and 3rd is $42,000.
So if someone tells you
I get it.
someone tells you with Ace Jack there, they go, you can shove all in with Ace Jack, maybe go broke, but maybe win the tournament, or you can fold Ace Jack and probably make another $40,000.
Well, that's the thing, right? You're going. If somebody told me right there, hey, if you fold this, you're probably going to win an extra $42,000. If you call this, you might get eliminated. You might just add a few
2.3.
chips to your stack, which doesn't even really change
You
your
have
position all that
3.7.
much.
3
I get it.
Almost
I
4
get it.
back, yeah?
What?
Oh, sorry.
All that said, and I could be
About
wrong
7
on
more.
my short
Yeah,
stack
it's
game
kind
isn't
of
the
the
best. I think Ace Jack is probably a too much hand to fold
I
four-handed.
think you're probably right.
Cool.
But
That's it.
I certainly can understand it.
I believe you.
As you should.
Sager in the small blind right now, 3 big blinds. This is why I'm talking about folding a hand as strong as Ace Jack. Sager is going to be forced all in if he does not do it here.
Well, if you want to play for free, you can at PokerGO. It's where the action never stops, and now you can chase your share of $1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker with real players and zero risk. The 1 million gold free roll runs every hour on the half hour. No buy-in, no catch, just your shot at gold. Tournaments, ring games, and the all-new no gamble, no future sit and goes with the Wheel of Gain. That sounds amazing. The Wheel of Gain.
Wheel of Gain.
Yeah, it's all waiting. Play now at playpokergo.com, available on web, iOS, and Android.
I thought it was the Wheel of Pain.
No, but yeah, but at PokerGo, it's the Wheel of Gain.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a play on it.
I would hope so. Sager at 7-6 suited on the button. 3 big blinds.
Yeah, and this is why you fold ace-jack, by the way. You fold ace-jack because you just want to, hey, let me get this guy knocked out, then I'll get to work. And Sagra not going to get involved. And, hey, every time he folds, there is a chance that you get the kings versus queens, the ace-king versus queen, something like that, and he ladders up.
That's why I always really wait a long time before making my decisions online, because there's always a chance their internet will go out.
So we're banking on that.
All in?
Rinky all in. Oh, man.
Ooh.
You can see Akeem like, okay, give me an easy decision,
Pretty sure I
okay?
cover.
Yeah?
This is a
Started with
fold.
14
I'm
million.
sorry. This is a fold.
God, this is huge.
Yeah. Nothing sexier than short stack ICM poker.
This
Let's
is a
do
fold. I'm not saying what's right. I'm just saying what to do here.
Yeah.
Fold.
It's like TV table effect.
For sure. I mean, I do not envy that at all, because no one would know how big the hands are that I'm folding and what a nit I am and how I want to get my hands on every last little nickel in ladder up money.
Yeah, and listen, you know, when you're sitting at home and you're watching this in your living room and it's not your money and you're not, it's a lot hard. It's so easy to just go, you got king jack, you got ace jack, just call.
Just call. You're ahead.
You're way ahead,
You're
right?
ahead.
But it's not, and
Just
keep in mind, by the way,
2.4?
even there,
3.4.
where he was ahead, he's still
2.4.
out of the tournament like 40% of the time. He's out.
Exactly. If I call it off there, I would rather, I know it's going to sound crazy, I would rather my opponent show me aces than 10-7 of clubs. Because I'm supposed to lose to aces. 10-7 of clubs, I'm like, just like a river's a 7. I'm just gonna be like,
You know you're dead there.
Yeah.
10-7, you're never beating 10-7
no,
suited.
exactly.
But by the way, going off what you're thinking and watching that happen, if you're sitting at this table and you are Striv, or you are,
Yeah,
you know,
like
Sebastian, you've got to be in a
Should be
situation where
close
you're
to
like,
30,
okay, nobody
actually.
wants to
30 bigs.
call off here. Nobody.
Yeah, no.
Except Roe.
You
And he's
can put,
gone.
You can put some pressure on for sure.
Fold.
By the way, with Joseph Rowe being eliminated, we have now ensured that we will have a first-time bracelet winner today, which is always kind of exciting. And
That's
it's one of the things that
Yeah.
it's one of the things that I really get excited about each year at the World Series of Poker, seeing somebody win it for the first time and their elation.
That's very neat.
True classic. I've got a True Classic tee on right now. Super comfortable.
Can I touch it?
You can. Go ahead.
I like it.
I thought you were just going to say that.
No.
I didn't think you were actually going to touch me.
You're in pretty good shape. Don't give fake consent. Ace-4, let's go. Open it up. Come on, printing. You're printing.
It's a little bit different situation because the big blind is the chip leader. It's the one player that can hurt him.
No, okay.
2 million?
Then you just raise, though.
Just raise. Yeah. That's what I might be my opening up. I did not mean rip it in.
Actually, Rinky's actually in the cutoff. Pardon me.
Bye.
Yeah, look at this. 3 times in a row, Hakeem has folded the better hand because he's not the first one in there. De Jong out of the way. Sagra with king 7 probably has to call this off.
I mean, most of his chips are in the middle.
I mean, blinds are 500,000, 1 million.
Ace-4
They
off.
are. And there you have Ace-4 versus king 7.
Ace-4 versus king 7.
Ignacio Sagra. There's
Yeah.
his rail cheering him on. He's got live cards. I mean, this could be worse. Far worse.
40%?
Huh?
Ace
Ace 8.
4 is coming, though.
Yep. The 2 youngest at the table, the 2
I don't need a
28-year-olds
four. I know.
battling on this one.
I know. What'd you get rid of?
6-5 off.
And while it's not for Harinki's tournament life, it is very significant. 6.3 million in there. Ignacio's rail watching. Ignacio watching.
The Sagrada Familia is out there.
Okay.
Good news. There's no
Keep it
ace
low.
out there. Bad news. There's no help for Sagra.
Yeah, there's the Sagrada Familia.
All right, just give me the ace. Let's call it a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a 7.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Strong.
Now Harinki looking for a Barry
one
Greenstein to knock out Sagra.
Two left in the
Hunter S.
deck.
Thompson
Ace of hearts.
sweating out there.
8 of hearts.
That's him.
And the fist pump in the air. Ignacio back in there with 6.3 million. So now back to that
Sounded
ace-jack
important.
fold. Are you a little bit more disappointed now?
Of course I'm disappointed.
Right.
But he's still only got 6 big blinds.
Well, we saw Ignacio's rail. We saw Ignacio. Those are the only people that were rooting for Ignacio in that spot. Take a look at our PokerStars leaderboard. Joseph Rowe, our latest to bow out. Took home just under $100,000. The remaining 4 players, by the way, all guaranteed at least 6 figures. Sebastian de Jong from the Netherlands, pacing the field with more than half the chips in play.
My 8.
Nice straight.
Damn it.
Maybe I should have folded.
Yep. He went 8. Nice
Sean
straight.
still has the time to wait out
Very nice.
Sagra.
Oh, good.
Yeah, towing that line between survival, chip accumulation, so difficult. Sagra with ace-4 on the small blind. I imagine the chips go in here. Even with that double up, he just has 6 big blinds.
Time to make like the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, and ship.
Holy. Count, please.
There's the all-in. Oh, and this is a call.
Slam dunk call.
Yeah. But again, I mean, Arinki went from being very comfortably in second place to, if he loses this hand, suddenly he's the short stack.
6.3. Call.
No limit hold'em can be a cruel, cruel mistress. All in, and it's ace-4 versus king jack.
Ace-4 versus king jack.
A4
Yeah.
tenemos
We said
nosotros
that.
y el rey J.
13.6 million in there.
Ace-4.
What a turn of events. Sagra can go from 3 big blinds, 3.5 big blinds, to a whopping 13.5.
But this is a case study in how being ahead does not mean that you're a massive favorite. Okay, never mind. Thanks a lot.
I like Sagra's hand.
I'll take Sagra's hand as well.
Not much going on here for Rinka. Oh, hold on. Could he make,
No.
could he do it?
Get out.
The Jack of Diamonds,
Get out.
one time.
This would be the sickest hand I've ever seen in my life.
Says a lot.
I'm
You
getting
commentated a lot of
I'm
poker.
getting a puke bucket ready. You're just going to hear me puke, okay?
9 of diamonds. Well, at least Rinky can say I lost with a full house.
That's right. I got it in sort of good.
Ace-4 versus King Jack, full house over full house. And look at this, Sagra now, Ignacio, up to 13.6 million. And Arinki now at 6.8 million.
You know, that
Five.
ace-jack fold now might be a little...
6, 3.
Look at his eyes, like, really? Could this happen? No.
It's a pump
By being
fake.
big. Or it's
Because it
small.
looks really good for you, but it's not.
Tiger does that. Tiger, he's cruel. He does that. He'll give you just a little bit of hope.
Rare.
Take a look at this leaderboard, once again brought to you by PokerStars. Sebastian de Jong is fine with what's going on. He's like, you guys keep messing around down there. I'm going to stay up here with my comfortable 32 million chip stack. Just let me know when I can get involved.
So ace-jack, you could maybe regret the fold because Sagra no longer has 6 big blinds, but now Arinki does.
Right.
So someone does. Jack 4. The flat tire.
Sagra on fire. Hit the
And-
7 on the turn, doubles up, stays alive, and that's got to be particularly painful though if you're Arinki, because it's like, you were ahead,
Oh, yeah.
and then the guy who got lucky versus you then takes more of your chips. It's like so cruel. Arinki in a small blind with a queen here with just 6 big lines.
Yeah, you just needed some pretty big statistics to go in your favor on one of 2 hands, and neither one did. It's very
9-1.
frustrating.
I think the fact that Hakeem in the big blind is folding a little bit more, I might have just shoved that. And I said that before I saw Marshall's hand, obviously. I think the fact that these players are folding a little bit more, you can probably, if you see any picture card, you can probably just shove from this.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm going to give you permission to once again touch my t-shirt, okay? That's right.
Hey.
It is, if you want to play at the PokerGO studio, True
It makes your
Classic.
traps look really good. I don't know, is that in the copy?
It's not.
It's great for your traps.
Just my traps. True Classic and PokerGO are giving 15 winners a shot at $5,000 package to compete in a signature event at the end of 2025. Just tell us your poker story at trueclassictees.com/TC PokerGO for your chance to win. That's trueclassictees.com/TC PokerGO. Submit now and take your shot. Not only do I want you to submit, Stapes,
Yep.
I want to hear your poker story. Not now.
Oh, what rating is it? Like, is PG-13
That's what I'm
R-rated?
saying, not
yeah,
now.
No, not now.
But send it into True Classic Tees and PokerGO, and who knows? Maybe you can play in a 5K event at the end of 2025.
Lol.
Horinky on the button with King Deuce. And the same King Deuce. The chip leader, it pays to be the king.
Gets a walk.
Yeah,
Even the big blind.
and I think Horinky at this point has to realize that he is
bro.
the short stack and he can't just wait. He's going to have to take a spot.
The big blind just passed, which when you're 5-handed means it's also right about to hit you again. So, yeah, he's going to be in the big blind in 2 hands.
Yeah, it's $2.5 million to play an orbit. And again, an orbit is just 4 hands. So you can do the math and go basically $800,000 to play a hand.
Pocket threes for Horinky.
Just get it in.
The Larry Bird.
On.
He still has enough chips, amazingly, that he's got fold equity.
Especially with the way this table's playing.
Right.
Does he have fold equity against the chip leader with 2 overs?
6-3, right?
Maybe, yeah. Make it double count.
It's 6 big blinds. Sebastian.
Yeah, 6.3 million.
I mean, he should be shoving so wide. This is a call, right?
Although we just saw him fold King Deuce and fold King 6. Battle of the Ages. Everybody from day 1A. All the elder statesmen have fallen by the wayside. We are down to, well, just the day 1 beers. The youngsters.
Take
Queen
it.
Jack in the muck.
Slowly build it back.
The Battle of the Ages has been won.
Yes. Now this kind of, it speaks volumes. Now obviously the players at the table don't know this. They can't see what everybody else is folding.
Lines are fucking massive.
But
man.
the fact that everybody's folding, you can shove a lot. King Deuce, right? I mean, you can shove
If
more than
Queen
you
Jack
think.
is folding, then yes.
Take a look at our Octopi Poker leaderboard here. Everybody guaranteed 124,000. But as we mentioned, basically a $42,000 pay jump between 4th and 3rd. Almost 100,000 between 4th and 2nd. So certainly pays to survive. But by the way, Horinky just getting that through basically gets him neck and neck with that man right there.
2.8.
Wow, Mashal getting a little out of line here. But this is what we were talking about. That everyone's image is such that they're playing super tight. Like, this reeks of strength to me.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a red flag. Like, why
Think I'm
wouldn't
gonna
you
fold
just
this
shove?
one.
Yeah, look at this. He's just going to
Okay.
pick up chips here. Finally getting a little creative, raising a non-standard hand, and is just going to pick up a massive amount of chips.
Another big blind. now.
Take a look at our remaining players' ages. A couple of 41-year-olds versus a couple of 28-year-olds. Who's your money on, the 28-year-olds or the 41-year-olds?
The 41-year-olds.
All right, there you go. Well, that's one of the 28-year-olds remaining. By the way, it's interesting. I remember covering a tournament many, many years ago in Europe, and an EPT, by the way, where Mike McDonald, Timex, was in a situation like this where there weren't that many big blinds at the table, and he was, you know, obviously a brilliant poker player,
Sure.
genius. He was so ahead of his time, and he just kind of, he moved all in like 11 times in a row in this kind of situation,
Yeah.
and he went from like 8 big blinds to like
40.
so, yeah, without, I don't think he saw a flaw. Like everybody
No,
just
I
said,
wouldn't.
oh, well, I guess you got it
6.3,
again.
That is what is the beauty of this game in general, is it's a game of chicken. And we all know it's better to be the one shoving than the one calling.
Nice hand.
And suddenly, I mean, Sagra who was, firmly in second place, is, right in there. I mean, you could make an argument for De Jong to be ridiculously aggressive at this point.
Absolutely, except for the fact that, yeah, no, I'm not even gonna caveat that.
I mean, keep in mind again, the difference between fourth and second is $100,000, 99 and change, right? The other 3 players are basically tied for second place. No, if De Jong raises, nobody's playing back at him.
And he's got 32 big blinds. It's not like he's on 20.
Yeah, nobody's playing back at him unless they have something.
All right, well, this should be going in.
All in.
And he does. Put them all in. Horenki gets out of the way. Hakeem's not going to play. And 40 hands into this final table, we have yet to see a post-flop bet. Do we get one?
No, because no one said the word C-bet. I know that we haven't said that.
Do we get one?
Oh, are we going to get one?
Before we crown a champion.
We must get one at heads up.
You'd think, right?
It depends how much longer it takes us to get there.
Again, $2.5 million in the pot each and every time before any betting goes on. So it's just so valuable for these players to pick up those chips. You pointed it out with just, what are there, 60 big blinds in play. To pick up 2.5 is just an enormous thing for your stack.
Ooh, 10-7, I'm probably opening
go.
10-7 diamonds, but
Sick fold.
8 big blinds, yeah, maybe just shoving, you're right. Even I'm being fooled by these stack sizes now. 8.8 million is 8 big blinds, everybody, or 8.8 big blinds. It is the good blind level. The human calculator thrives here.
And somewhere Matt Savage is rolling over. He's like, wait, why are there so many chips if he has 6 big blinds? I don't understand.
Because they can't make them any smaller. Or bigger, I should say.
No, just 6, right?
6.5, 6.7.
6 bigs.
8 altogether, right? No, 9 altogether.
I watched it. He said he's small. I passed on the queen 5.
Marshall not shipping here is a little strange, and I think that some people might read it for strength. Or maybe if someone's real savvy, they'll see it for what it is, which is maybe would want to get away from it.
Yeah, Hakeem has actually done this now twice.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of orbits. So, one time you're thinking maybe red flag, strength. The next time, okay, wait a second. Either way you look at it, though, that man now up to 11.7 million. Sagar on 11.6 million. Horenki still a short stack on 8.8 million. And they're all chasing De Jong, who's on 29 million. Hey, one thing that's new here at the World Series of Poker is the World Series of Poker Plus app. Have you checked this out?
I have checked it out, yeah.
It is like revolutionary. Like there used to be like lines, and you had to like when you won money. And I know you probably don't know much about that, but you had to go to a payout line. And it took a long time. The WSOP Plus app is really, really good. I'm not just saying it. It's actually really amazing.
So you're saying I can make it so that my money never leaves my phone ever again?
Right.
Wow, I love that. No, I have used it, and my favorite thing about this thing that's happening here with the app is I see people when they're all in, they get the app out to register for something else before they even leave their seat.
11.
And I find that to be quite charming and hilarious.
Yeah. Just an easier way to sign up. It's an easier way to get your payouts. You can check chip counts and stuff.
I've used it to check chip counts a bunch, actually.
It's pretty cool, yeah. De Jong raising and taking it. Again, De Jong can be really aggressive.
Attaboy.
How much you help? How much you help?
Me? I like 30, I think.
Sorry?
30.
Battle of the Ages,
2, 4, 6,
a new
13, 12,
creative event here.
18.
And, shout out to
28, right?
Jack Geffel and the powers that be here at the World Series of Poker. They're always kind of come up with new things. Dealer's Choice a few years ago was one of my favorites. We've got all sorts of new events going on. Torse, No Limit Hold'em Turbo Bounty, 100K PLO. PLO, everybody loves it. 4-card game, the great game.
What's Torse?
It's exercise while you're playing horse.
3-card. T? T. What does T stand for in torse? I mean, I could look it up.
I mean, obviously, I
It's more
know,
fun
but I'm
to
going to let
think about
no,
it.
I'm gonna let you figure this out
Triple draw
instead of hold'em.
instead of hold'em.
Yeah. Because as you mentioned earlier, nobody likes limit hold'em. So they got rid of that, and instead they put in triple draw.
We got a real legit cooler here.
This is absolute cooler, and no way either player should or can
All
get
in
away
call.
from it. Oh my, wow, Akeem's got ace jack. The tournament could be over right here. They're all going in.
Another ace-jack fold on the horizon for Michelle. This time he's not going to be upset when he sees the hands that get turned over.
Yeah, and this is a different situation. You've got a
Jack
raise
versus nine.
and an all-in in front of them.
Nines.
Also, there's no way an ace
Yeah,
is
nine
going to
covers.
Tegen boeren.
24.7 million chips in there. Sagra at risk. DeYoung
Sagra-
has
Toss
one
ace jack
live
there.
suit.
Sagra has doubled and doubled and doubled, and now is in a great spot to do it again.
It was just a couple of orbits ago where he had king 7 offsuit in the big blind and was essentially forced to call off.
This is for the tournament chip lead, by the way.
And there's the ace.
Ooh, ace-jack's doing real good here.
Always when you throw it away, right?
Absolutely, you knew it was going to come once he threw the ace-jack away. DeYoung looking for running hearts or a 9. That is neither a heart or a 9. And now DeYoung down to the 9 of diamonds or 9 of clubs. 9 ball corner pocket. The 8 of spades.
Thought that was a 9.
Ooh, scary.
And Sagra, look at that. From the
What a
outhouse to the
scoop.
penthouse. Now up to 24.7 million chips. And the dynamic at this final table has certainly changed.
I mean, assuming the penthouse is only on the 24th floor.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the button now.
Just seems so matter of fact about it.
Should have just blasted. Should have just blasted.
Again,
Jack.
he was all in for his tournament life with king 7 offsuit. What, 9 minutes ago?
It
And
was
now he's our
not
chip leader.
long ago.
Again, not that many chips in play. An absolute cooler, 9s versus jacks, four-handed. But it is Ignacio Sagra who's on top of the PokerStars leaderboard with 24.7. Sebastian DeYoung still healthy on 20.9 million, although that is just 20 big blinds. Hakeem Shriv under 10 bigs. As we continue to battle here. First place, a bracelet. It'll be the first bracelet for one of these 4 players.
Sagra
Wow.
just trying to figure out how to newly decorate
Unreal.
the front of his seat. He's got a lot more to work with than he did just 20 minutes ago.
And Hakeem's got to be thinking, I know the ace-jack fold was good, but if I just, why can't I just play bad poker for a second and just call?
Well, because the thing is, we all play bad poker sometimes, and
Right.
why couldn't that have been the time?
Right. Why couldn't that be the impulsive, just whatever, I don't care anymore?
Camille?
Now, is Sagra gonna act accordingly to the chip leader code? King Jack, obviously a hand you can open with regardless.
Oh, hello.
Oh, man.
I think this is probably just a call. I mean, you're deep
man.
enough you can actually just play poker.
We might have a post-flop bet.
This is 44 hands in. Are we finally going to get a post-flop bet?
Can you do it?
Wow. First flop of the day.
There we
Are you
go.
serious?
Look at this.
Really?
We see a
First,
flop.
Sick.
This is wild. We still may not get a bet, but we are going to a flop.
Ace-high flop.
We may not get a bet.
Both
First
players
check
with a
is
gut shot. Sakura's got the
close.
king of clubs. I think he wants to bet this.
I don't know.
He's got more aces in his range. I don't know if he's going to bet it. But from a theoretical standpoint, I think he should
Yeah.
be betting this. He also can continue when a club comes off.
You got to see one for just for laughs for the jack, right?
I mean, king queen can be the best hand here.
Yeah.
And yes, obviously you've got a draw to the nuts. He's also getting a good price. I mean, 1.5 to win 7.
That's what I mean. Seems relatively insignificant getting to see a 4th card.
Who's going to make the call?
I call with the smallest chips I can.
Blank on the turn. And this will be interesting. Does Sagra continue? Does he try to put pressure on maybe a pair of 8s or a pair of 10s, something like that?
I also don't love calling with all the small chips there from a tells perspective, because to me it says you don't expect to get the chips back, and that's why you're not using the pink.
I'm going to use that when I play against you once. I'm going to call with my small
Hey man,
chips when I have the nuts.
if you want to play in my 5-cent, 10-cent game, you're welcome anytime.
Saturday night, are you talking about? I've gone to the meetup game.
Oh, that'd be sick if you won the NAPT seat.
Now look at this really strong double barrel from Sagra. And he is up to 30 million chips. De Jong down to 16 million chips. That's a strong, strong double barrel.
I think he's going to start touching his cards.
From Ignacio.
There it is.
And I believe the players are going to go on break right now. It's not a very long break, mind you. Just about 5-7 minutes, somewhere around there. Plenty of poker when we come back. We'll leave you with a PokerStars leaderboard. Ignacio Sagra, who is just a couple of cards away from being out the door, is our chip leader with 29.7 million chips. When we come back, 4-handed poker. We're back at 5.
I'm not afraid to do what I have to do.
You know what my problem is? I just don't believe you.
Let's see what this footballer is made out of.
I'm an aggressive player. Stop showing off, mate.
Are you kidding me?
Anything can happen in a big game, I'm sure.
6
risking elimination if he does not catch up.
Need a jack.
Out to the top of the screen, 17 of them.
Or a heart.
Lay, lady, lay.
Does hit the queen and does survive. But even with that, Allen's still below 6 big blinds, even with that double up.
But crucially is still in the poker tournament. Most oops. Sorry, I'm the most oops player. He's won the most online poker championships.
Just unbelievable. And it's all because Poker News wouldn't give him a job. Because he was a poker journalist. That's all he wanted to do. And when they wouldn't hire him, he's like, fine, I guess I'll go play.
That's cool. I have the exact opposite story. I did get hired, and I'm terrible. Every hand there isn't an all-in call is defying the odds, by the way. It's like flipping heads 13, 14 times in a row.
And I do believe this will be an all-in, though. Jack-10 suited on
Alarm clock once.
5-ish big blinds.
No, make it, no, the first one.
Allen does have fold equity.
Do what the high rollers do. Leave one chip behind.
So I wanted to start at 10 because
3 million?
He's going to do that. Look at that.
I don't know what it means, but I like it.
My heel like this, like 8 stitches.
Joe will explain to us later why players do this.
Alarm clock.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you ended up.
Domination situation. Irinki will not be folding.
Nope, there it is. There's the call, and the 2-time bracelet winner, Allen Lay, at risk.
Ace-10 versus Jack-10 suited. We have Ace-10. He's got Jack-10 suited.
Well, I thought
Shrimp did not get the memo that this is my job.
I did it, right?
If he continues to do this, I'm
It's your job to go down to the rail and tell his friends what he's got. Get down there.
I'll go.
No alarm clock for me.
Oh, that was the
7.1 million.
13.
The ace-queen held up, but now Allen Lay is behind. Can he catch up?
That's right, I have a movie.
He needs just the right number of hearts, by the way.
Audacity to take a shower on Friday.
Pretty tough to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
4 flush and you're out.
Let's get some backdoor.
The 9 of
Stuff
hearts
working.
is a great card for Lay to hit. Unfortunately, the other two, not as much.
Ace of diamonds. It's too easy, man. I'll take it, man.
How about the 8 of hearts for a sweat?
Okay, doesn't
Just
work.
make it fun.
I'll allow it.
Oh, my
No!
God.
How do I do that? That's amazing.
That was Pippin to Jordan, really, because I did allow it.
Diamonds, we get this card.
What a card.
Well done.
And suddenly, Allen with
Jesus.
17 outs.
Too many outs, man, as they say.
Uh-oh, too many outs
The
syndrome?
whole deck.
I feel like it's the right number of outs.
Pair the board.
It might be the
Ace of
right,
diamonds.
right number of outs. He called it Ace of Diamonds.
Fire issue.
All right, hold on. I'm going to try this on the next hand. Maybe we're all just magic.
6 of these 8 players looking for their first bracelet. Alan Lay looking for his 3rd of his career. Rowe looking for number 2. Rowe actually won a bracelet just a couple of years ago, 2023.
I played with Joseph Rowe in Sacramento. Again, I'll put the gloves thing to bed after this. I would never judge why a person would wear gloves like this, and he seems like a very nice fella. But if he started walking toward me in the parking garage late at night, I am running the other direction.
$1.4.
Hakeem Mashal.
Yeah, 41 years old.
Yeah.
And
Came to the final table with just about 13
more
big
than
blinds. He's
1.4.
going to
That's way
raise.
more than
2.4.
And I wonder if we
Yeah,
got a
looks like
little
it's 2.4.
advice overnight, because we really haven't seen people taking any spots at all. This is folded on the button. So this is a standard raise in a lot of tournaments
Balance of
for a lot of
donation.
players. But we haven't seen much of it. I haven't seen much of it leading up to this point.
De Jong. That is Sebastian De
215.
Jong, 41 years old as well. $645,000 in lifetime earnings, but this is his first final table here at the World Series of
Caught
Poker.
me.
And Mashal's painted himself into a corner here. Has to call it off dominated.
A6, 6-5.
Ace 5, Ace 6.
Yeah, he's got me crushed.
A6. Tegen 6-5.
Crushed.
A6.
Ace 6 at risk.
A6 is at risk. That is Sebastian De Jong.
A6.
Not married, no kids. He likes golf, he likes crypto, and well, he'd like his A6 to hold up.
I feels like you're giving his bio like you think he's going to get sucked out on here.
I'm just prepared.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case the 5 peels
I've got
off.
the eulogy here.
Nice sound.
In the window. The doggy in the window.
Okay, ace high flop here. Both
Scared
players
me.
both players get a piece
That
of
means
it.
I need another one.
You can see De Jong in the bottom left corner of your screen,
6 no
a
help.
sizable favorite.
I mean, that is a waste of a 5 right there.
Marshall looking for the 5 of spades.
Do I get to use it one time?
Sure.
Not going to happen. The king of clubs. Marshall down at
Right,
4.6 million.
All right, what
De
do you
Jong
got?
up to 5.1 million.
I mean, that would be something.
Yeah, really would be. Just gonna put that out there.
I'll just say some people, it's hard to determine their age.
Yeah, it is very difficult.
Sorry.
Still 8 players remain here. Event number 59 in the 56th annual World Series of Poker.
I'm fucking sleepy, man. My eyes are closing on me and stuff.
Again, not a lot of chips in play.
The fact that there hasn't been an elimination yet is baffling.
There's under 100 big blinds in play. Now, there's 97 big blinds in play.
One of you is going to need to leave. King, queen suited, fist pump. Fist punch, ship it. There's no raising.
Yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful spot. I mean, you're on the button with king, queen suited. This is a beautiful spot. Rinky not going to get involved. Wang probably should be getting
That's a
involved.
call.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But especially against the button shove.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and she is going to get it in.
Not surprised. She is not one of the tighter players at this
King
table.
Queen versus Ace 6.
So Ignacio Sagra does have
Ace 6 at
shot
risk.
covered. The 42-year-old Wang at risk with ace 6 has the better of it, but it's pretty close, 56% to 44%.
Must be. Diamonds is strong.
$7.5 million in the. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. We are here for the 56th annual World Series of Poker, event number 59, the $1,000 Battle of the Ages. And we are down to our final 4 players inside the event center here at the Horseshoe. I'm David Tuckman. Alongside me, Joe Stapleton.
You know, I think they should do a battle of the wages, which is a CEO versus a minimum wage employee at his company. What do you think about that? Or her company. Women can be CEOs also.
I was going to say, I mean, we do have, like, the CEOs battling the poker pros in many of the high roller events.
Yeah, except pros don't have a wage.
Good point. There you go. That's the bracelet these players are looking for. And for these players, by the way, somebody's going home with their first piece of hardware and $335,000 on top of that. All 4 of these players will take home $124,000, but their eye is on the prize now. So close to a World Series of Poker bracelet. 241-year-olds versus the 228-year-olds. It's not a team thing, though. Although the tag team event is currently going on.
Yeah,
right
tag
now.
team event looks really fun. A lot of players in costumes. And Irinki, who did have winning this tournament in his sights at one point, was chip leader very briefly. Now on 5 big blinds. Dark Queen Duck. Queen suited.
That's a pretty hand. And with blinds at 600,000, 1.2 million, there's only one play. And he makes it. Chips go in the pot. Now just the question, does somebody else pick something up? Keep in mind, each and every round now costs $3 million.
It
looks like Hakeem's got a decision.
He's had many decisions today. Oh, man. And once again, takes the more passive side. Was dominated. Probably not always a fold for 5 big blinds, but Michelle's only got 7 himself.
Sagra gives it up. Harinki goes from 6.3 to 9.3.
I don't think it can be overstated, by the way. This is one of the weirdest tournaments I've ever covered. I don't know that I have ever seen a tournament play out like this. That wasn't a charity event.
That, by the way, is Striv's friend, Striv Harinki's friend on the rail. Yeah, it's interesting. There have been a couple of events. You know, obviously I've been covering the World Series of Poker for many, many years. There have been a couple of events where you could tell that the players at the final table were very hesitant to put their chips in. and when it came down to it, we had like 7, 8 players with like 70 big blinds, very similar, and it just became very pre-flop heavy. This is a good hand. I've been doing some work.
It's a top 3 hand for me.
Yeah. And what's the play here?
I just min raise.
It looks like he has done just that. Min raise.
I think you can, as the former chip leader. I forgot, he's not the chip leader anymore. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, on this, I don't know. Maybe it's a shove. Maybe raise a little bit more. I was thinking that you can induce when you're the chip leader here if you're going to just min raise the button, but...
Are you ever limping? Are you ever doing something so so ridiculous?
No, you
like
know why?
limping?
Because I wouldn't even think of it. Like, I would forget that it's an option. Because I wouldn't be balanced.
Harinki was pausing, by the way, because he's hoping one of the other tables would get somebody knocked out.
Lose somebody over there. But
yeah.
No such luck. They're playing even tighter over there.
600,000, 1.2 million. Take a look at the true classic chip denoms. The blue ones are 100,000. The pinks are 500K. We've got a lot of chips on the table, but it just doesn't amount to much. We've got about 50 big blinds in play. Now, this is usually when a tournament ends, Joe.
Yeah.
50 big blinds. That's tournament's over.
Things are very shallow. Things are shallower than the pool at Warwick Davis's house.
That's an obscure. Listen, if anybody gets it, I would be impressed. That's great. DeYoung with King Jack, gonna raise it one more time. Stay aggressive. Again, you're picking up $3 million each and every time you do it. You don't need aces to do this, folks.
2.4. Nobody home.
And DeYoung picks up another $3 million. So like this, the last 2 hands, picks up aces, picks up King Jack, picks up 6 million chips. So he goes from 16 to 22. without seeing a flop. And again, yeah, he had aces and he had king jack, but he didn't need those hands.
He just won 20% of the chips in play.
Exactly. Take a look at our tournament summary. 3,074 players started this journey. Only 4 are still standing. I know they're not literally standing, okay, everybody?
It's a metaphor.
Thank you. This brought to you by Oats Overnights. In fact, this segment brought to you by Oats Overnights. Winning is easier with 28 grams of protein, everybody. Please shake responsibly.
I gotta get some of them oats.
We're gonna make this happen, okay? not only do I want to get them for you, but I want to then get a Joe Stapleton review.
Oh, sure. I
Okay.
mean, as long as I like it. If not, it never happened.
That's fair.
Sagra, the chip leader, the actual chip leader, is going to raise queen 10, and I'm here for it.
Hrinky, not much room to maneuver. Oh, he's got ace-6.
Against an open from the chip leader.
Yeah.
I guess the thing is you have no fold equity once there's an open from the chip leader.
Yeah,
right?
I just don't think you care.
Apparently I've got to wait overnight to get my oats.
On.
He's going to go all in. I like the play. I just think against the chip leader who's going to be opening, in theory, should be opening a little bit wider. Although at this table, that hasn't really been the case.
It finally was the case.
Yeah.
6.3.
And
And there's the call. Queen
Ace-6.
10 versus ace-6.
Queen
Hrinky
10.
a favorite, but not by much.
and has not been running well in these spots. Whether he's the slight dog or the slight favorite, he has been getting beat up.
This has got to be torturous. I mean, you had Sagra 2 cards away from being, out, and you were 3-handed, and instead, Hrinky lost that one, then lost again to him, and now could be knocked out by the same player. 15.6 million, by the way, in this pot. Huge moment for Shriv Hrinky.
Ooh.
Not a particularly good start. Hrinky looking for an ace or running 5s.
Just has not been running well in these spots at all. Is Srivane going to Skinamarinky Binky Bink, or is he out of
Ace of
here?
hearts.
Big spot for that man right there, the 20-year-old standing up,
One time.
looking for his ace.
No
It's
Binky Bink.
not the ace, Jack Spades. And unfortunately
Yeah,
for Shriv Hrinky,
Okay.
his time here is over. The 28-year-old, a great run, takes home $124,000 for his 4th place efforts. But we are now down to 3.
Skinamarinky do. Make 6 figures.
Yeah, and obviously
GG.
disappointed right now,
There's
but
three
how
folks.
this could have turned out differently. I mean, he had ace-4 versus the man who just knocked him out.
Yeah,
Ignacio had king-7. Clean flop, 7 on the turn. And, in an alternative timeline, Hrinky is the chip leader very easily. And unfortunately for him, that is not the timeline we are living in.
You got to win your flips, especially when it comes down to a shove fest like this. And make no mistake, ace-6 versus king-jack or whatever it is, that's a flip. So now we are threads up, 3-handed
All in.
for the bracelet.
6.2.
Hakeem Mashal gets to ship it with ace-king.
Action, please.
Mashal asking
Next one.
for Sagra.
6.2. Gimme.
He's your. Yeah.
Sagra folds to the 5 big blind shove. I mean, he did seem very keen, so maybe you're supposed to call it off there, but when he's like, action, please, I don't think he's really saying that when he shoves 6 high, but.
Yeah, Hakeem's got, a long road to hoe, so to speak, but as we've just seen.
A road to who?
As we've just seen, you can come back. And the businessman from San Francisco, graduated from UC Davis, degree in psychology, certainly can make it happen. He's just got to start winning some hands. That bio brought to you by Play Poker Go. No risk, Just go and have some fun, learn how to play the game.
Young says no to the Jack 4, Queen 6 for Sagra. You're just shoving on the big blind here, right? The big blind has 7 bigs.
Especially with the way with how tight he's played, I think you have to.
All in?
There you go.
I like it.
King 5 for Marshall. This is a call. Marshall has been making the tighter folds, but there's no one else to ladder up in front of now.
Yeah, you can see that. See, that's what makes the Queen 6. It's such a profitable shove.
Yeah.
If you're going to get king highs to fold when your opponent's got 6 big blinds, you know, that push shove chart, obviously it's meaningful, it's worth understanding, but if your opponents aren't operating at the same standard, you've got to make adjustments. And you can see Sagra doing that. Now Sagra with 36 million chips. Well over half the chips in play for Ignacio. This is Ignacio's first ever World Series of Poker final table.
Queen 5 suited.
In fact, how cool is this? The remaining 3 players,
Yeah.
this is for all of them. Not only are they going for their first bracelet, this is their first ever World Series of Poker final table, the 3 of these players.
Very cute. You can hardly tell.
Nice.
Sagra playing this by the book.
Yeah, and there's no reason why. You just stay aggressive. I mean, you're raising, I would imagine, 90% of your buttons.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. And there's a lot of bleeding you can do.
I mean, if you're De Jong, you're just not incentivized to get involved with the chip leader right now.
It's called catch.
You know, we've
If you
got
ever
a
come
big
down.
pay jump between second and third.
Catch.
I have to know
Fish,
Yeah,
what our
fresh-
producer
fresh
meant when
seafood.
she
Oh,
said
like
it's not always true. When I said if it
Actually
bleeds,
good.
we can kill it.
Catch. Nice.
What, are you aware of some alien species that bleeds yet
that's
does
the
not
lemon
die?
Dutch and Papiamento.
Oh,
I only know,
goodness.
like,
Well, I can't repeat
Later
that,
oven,
can
like,
I?
Good evening or something like that?
Okay.
Is that correct?
What? Over?
Later oven?
Our
Oven
producer is a
Good night.
lady,
Good night.
and that's all I'll say.
Ja,
Joe
goedenavond.
Stapleton, folks.
Of, zie je later.
And there's an entire section that we now have to redo for CBS.
I
Thank
take
you
it,
very
I
much,
take it
Joe.
back. I take it back. She's not a lady, based on what I just heard.
An entire section. I appreciate that.
I
guys.
figured it was safe if the producer is talking about it, but. Did you say 50% of the ovulation?
6.2 million chips for
Population,
Akeem.
sorry.
De Jong with 16.4 million. Saga with 39 million.
Keep trying, Dave. Go ahead. Keep trying to keep this on track.
56th annual World Series of Poker never has not disappointed. It's been a great summer, everybody.
It's been 5 years since I've been allowed to work on the World Series of Poker, and it might be twice that before I'm back again.
It's been a good run.
That was a great run.
Yeah.
Dr. Brandon says our commentary is helping him stay entertained by the interesting play.
We have, listen, 53 hands in. We did have post-flop play on one hand. And by the way, it was
Once.
actually a really cool hand. Sagra double barreling with the king jack.
With the slightly worse king, yeah.
Yeah.
With the second nut nothing. Getting the nut nothing to fold.
Cool. It was
Hakeem.
going anyway. All right.
So okay, so Sagra does fold the 9 deuce offsuit. I don't mind that. You're folding the, you're folding the absolute worst.
Havana banana.
No need, because you can't raise fold. You're just going to be shoving. Don't really want to give your opponents any hope.
Sagra deep in thought about where he's going to wear his first World Series of Poker bracelet. I would wear it to your sister's wedding and really upstage her.
My sister's wedding?
To a sister's wedding.
Oh, okay. I was going to say this is
Someone's
really,
wedding.
It's going to be really awkward because
So
my sister's married 20 years, so I was going to let her know. I'd be like, okay, things aren't going to work out for you, but at your second wedding, Joe's going to wear this.
I just think it would be fun to take attention away from the bride by wearing your World Series
Nothing
of Poker
to even
bracelet
fight
someone's
with.
Will you wear it as like a choker?
I'm okay with a fair
Maybe?
fight.
You just maybe grab the
flip.
microphone, see if anybody wants to hear the story of how you won your bracelet. Maybe during the vows. Just clang it around a little bit.
Right, make it all about you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I didn't know we'd get a little ankle on this stream. Thanks a lot. Some great camera work. I owe that guy 20 bucks. Or lady. Could be a camera operator.
A game with jacks.
All in.
And not going to get cute with them. Just going to move his 5 big blinds in there. Hope somebody's got something. And unfortunately for him, nobody does. Pretty unlucky that nobody can pick up a hand.
It
I mean,
is unlucky, but
4,
how many people are perfectly happy to get jacks through?
5, 6,
at this,
6,
yeah,
16,
normally yes, but at this
6.2.
point of the tournament, if you're a king,
Praying
you're like,
for a call.
I need chips.
Please. Or just send me home.
Come on. Give me some action.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to see him balanced
Should I
with,
min
please
click?
give me
What
some
the hell,
action.
man?
Otherwise,
Doesn't matter, I think.
Doesn't
it is
matter.
a bit of a tell. I'd like to see his Jack 8 suited. Please give me some action.
Yep, my thoughts exactly, Hakeem. My thoughts exactly. 3-handed here in event number 59, the 1K Battle of the Ages. Coming down to these 3 youngsters, 2 41-year-olds and a 28-year-old man.
I mean, it would make sense if Sagra won this because they were multi-accounting. There were 3 Sagras in this event.
Yeah, his father, his brother, and he all cashed.
He said it. If I have the
Sagra
same
gonna
hand as
raise?
last time.
Come on, Mashal.
Well, he did not call last time, and this time he's not going to call either.
So tight. My goodness.
No choice.
Tighter than a nun's schedule. You can't keep God waiting.
At the World Series of Poker, it's not just a game, it's war. Gear up at the PokerGO shop. Look sharp, play sharper. On site at the WSOP and online at shop.pokergo.com.
Joe, that's not only my favorite PokerGO commercial. That might be one of my favorite commercials I've ever seen. Tim looks amazing.
So sometimes you'll see an actor in something and you'll be like, wow, that is pure talent, pure charisma, lights up the screen. You can see that they're a star. Other times you're like, that must have been a casting couch situation. I'm leaning toward the latter for the actor in that commercial. No offense, but I don't think I've ever seen less charisma on screen.
Poor Tim.
Who's that, sorry? Tim?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody important. Sagra on 42 million chips. Sagra's at the point now where he actually can pretty much just raise with almost any two. I mean, he can put a ton of pressure on the other 2 players and just kind of dwindle them down, forcing them to make a call. You know, if you're Sebastian or this man right here, you're looking at, you know, nearly $60,000 difference between second and third. DeYoung's got to hand him 11 big blinds with Queen Jack.
All in.
And does manage to run into a hand that cannot call it off.
Yeah, that's the hope. Sebastian picks that up to 16 million. Sagra down to 40 million. Three remain. Well, guess what, everybody? The NAPT Las Vegas is back. That's right. We're going to Resorts World for the 3rd year in a row. It runs November 3rd through the 12th. I Highlights including the 50K Super High Roller. Joe will be in that one. The 5K main event, plus there's a 1K PokerStars Open at the start of the series, and a 1K Women's High Roller. PokerStars players in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan, and Ontario, yes, even Ontario, have the chance to win their way to the NAPT.
And just a reminder, this Saturday night at Resorts World, 6 to 9 p.m., a little 2-5 cash meetup game where we will be giving away a $5,300 main event seat to that NAPT.
3 million.
How do I win it?
3.4.
It's a pineapple flip out. So if you're at the tables, everyone who's involved gets to we do a short little, all-in, I believe, tournament, pineapple style.
So I can't just say sweet nothings to you or Hardigan or anybody like that.
Man, if that were the case, I would be doing much better in the dating world.
DeYoung raising, Sagra with King 3 suited. This is kind of interesting. We can see the cards, and he's going to let it go, but I think you've got to be at least a little intrigued in the sense, what hands would Sebastian raise here and not just shove?
Michelle he's hemming and hawing. He has no idea how good he's got it. Excuse me, no idea how good he's got it.
Listen, Joe, you don't understand. King High is not a good hand, okay? He doesn't like it. He doesn't want it.
He's had the best hand so many times.
He's got 3.8 million chips behind.
And he's flummoxed. He's flummoxed with the best hand constantly.
By the way, it was this hand, King 7, which launched Sagra.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen watching on. And again, Hakeem lets it go. He's going to wait for a better spot. He's down to 3 big blinds.
I can understand I can understand. Look, I've been blinded down to 3 big blinds before. I've been there. I've done it. It's so hard when you're in this situation. You're like, please just let me get a good hand. Just one more hand. Just one more hand. How hard is it to do better than King 7? Pretty hard, actually.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about, all the hands we're playing 3-handed, King 7's a pretty good hand. Sagra. This is probably a raise on the button. At least it should be. We'll see if he does just that. I always use the analogy of, you're invited to a party. You finally got invited to the cool kids party.
Yep, I can relate, sure.
Yeah,
yep.
and you don't want the party to end. You're there.
Yes,
yes. You've got a seat at the cool kids.
You overstay your welcome, and you look kind of like a bozo doing it.
Yeah. I've done that a lot as well. Raise here. Akeem all in with
Hey,
7s.
it's better than King 7.
Triple
It's
up.
7 with a 7 kicker.
Now, does DeYoung call this and Sagra call, and they kind of play the check down game?
Well, wink, wink, wink. Let's not bluff here. I think your hand's too strong here to fold.
Keep in mind, I believe the betting has been reopened. So the blind's 1.2. It goes to 2.4. Yeah, 3.8. So Sagra could actually close out DeYoung if he wanted to.
The betting reopened. That's a little scary.
Well, Sagra has options of folding, which he's not going to do, calling, or actually re-raising. Re-raising would be pretty cool to get DeYoung out of there.
Based on this exact hand, you're probably mostly going to be calling. But a real killer instinct would just be like, guess what? I'm all in. You can't call.
12.6 million in the pot. Hakeem at risk. Is a favorite, but not against the field. Ignacio watching on. And there's a queen.
Man.
Bad
DeYoung
start.
Hits this so hard. You are in an interesting situation here. I think with top pair, you are allowed to bet, but we haven't checked to the razor yet, have we?
4.
Yeah, and he's not going to. He's just going to. He wants to hand over. He's almost never bluffing here with an all-in player.
Nice.
Ignacio going to let it go, and we can see Queen 10 versus 7s, cards on their back.
Poor Hakeem Mashal was so patient, folded in so many spots. Now, look, the good news is, bro, that you laddered up to
Van
3rd
10,
place.
Top pair tegen 7's. Ja.
Assuming 7s don't catch up, spade on the turn, that's sweaty.
I haven't had a 1 time yet, so
Oh,
here we go.
is that it? Are you actually asking for it? You have to be more clear than that. Yeah, you got to be more clear. Sorry, I cannot accept that as a request for the
Hakeem
1 time.
Mashal looking for the 7. Otherwise, his tournament is over in 3rd place. The river. That is not a 7, my friends. 5 of hearts on the river.
Thank you.
And Hakeem Mashal has been eliminated in 3rd place. He'll take home just under $166,000. Look at that. That's a, again, it's a $1,000 buy-in, Stapes.
Nobody wants Mashal anymore. They want Shady. He's chopped liver.
We are heads up.
I'm big, yeah.
The battle. The 41-year-old versus the 28-year-old. The battle of the ages. 13 years separate these two players. And about 7 big blinds separate them.
Loving this Muse knockoff. What is this, the Knights of Bologna?
Take a look at our PokerStars leaderboard. 9 million chip difference between these two players as we head to Heads Up Poker.
Head up.
The NAPT is back this November, my babies.
This is going to be such an amazing event. Back in fabulous Las Vegas. I had such an amazing time at the NAPT last year. It was one of my favorite events.
Stay up to date through the PokerStars channels.
Come play with us this November.
I'll see you in Las Vegas.
Be there.
What a hottie.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Inside the Horseshoe Casino, inside the event center, event number 59 is down to just 2. I recognize that guy's voice. Joe Stapleton. Alongside me, I'm David Tuckman. We are heads up. Tail of the tape here. Ignacio Sagra on the right side, wearing the black t-shirt. Probably a true classic t-shirt, by the way.
What color are the trunks?
Ignacio lives in Los Angeles, originally from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Professional poker player, not married. Likes playing sports. His biggest cash report today, $133,000. That was a 2023 EPT Barcelona.
Makes sense.
Take a look at Sebastian de Jong from Amsterdam. Businessman, likes golfing, likes crypto. His biggest cash before today, $92,000. So this is for both players.
Very sick.
Yes, exactly. Their biggest ever cash. Take a look at our Splash Sports tournament update. 3,074 players have been whittled down to just 2. One of these players are going to take home their first ever gold bracelet and $335,000 up top. Second place, $223,000. So they're playing for $112,000 as we look at our Octopi Poker payout. $112,000 in that beautiful bracelet.
Not gonna lie, would like a bracelet. Because I could really just hold it over everybody's heads, you know what I mean? I would be insufferable.
Oh, you and, I mean, all of us. I mean, if you won...
Anytime,
me,
anytime.
Platt, imagine Platt won
Platt,
one.
oh my God. Anytime anyone like brought up anything poker, like disagree with me, anything poker theory, I would just take out my bracelet and jingle it in front of them.
3 million?
You could smack them with it.
Oh, just whip a person with the bracelet? Yeah.
Absolutely. Heads up poker. So we have seen...
By the way, this should take, what, 7 minutes? 24 big blinds effective?
We have seen these players play it somewhat cautiously. Although Sagra did make a couple of nice plays here and there. I am curious to see how these guys adjust to Heads Up Poker as we look at a play PokerGo buy-all for our friend from the Amsterdam area. Avid golfer, first World Series of Poker final table. Does have over $600,000 in live tournament winnings. And if he wins this, by the way, he'll hit the $1 million mark.
Very cool.
Cool.
Sagra, by the way, on the other side, his total tournament winnings $350,000.
All right, we're gonna see a flop. Hey, this is our second flop of the entire day Hand 44 and hand 62.
Yeah, we might see a few now. Oh, look at this.
Actually, it might be our third flop because we did during the all-in, right? We had a little
Oh, yeah, there you go.
third
Good point.
flop.
Good point. De Jong with trip fives. Just like, what do I do? I flop the nuts. Ignacio, by the way, is known as Nacho to his friends and fans.
Oh, well, I'm a fan. I shall call him Nacho. Calls here with 1% equity. Does not want to improve.
Yeah, pretty creative. Just kind of floating. See if he can take it away.
This is Mrs. De Jong. This is our first turn, though? Our first turn? Like our first real turn?
No, we had Sagra double barrel the turn earlier on.
Okay. Second turn, then.
Yeah. And I will say, I mean, the fact that these guys have been playing like 13 big blind effective poker for the last 3 hours, they must feel like they just have too many chips to even, like, what do I do?
Is that all it's been? 3 hours? It's been less.
Yes.
A lot less. Good Lord.
Time with me stands still, my friend. Look at this. Sagra's just setting up a play. I mean, he's just like, I'm going to rep that I had the 5. Which, by the way, normally works, except when your opponent has the hand you're repping.
That's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it awful that the one time you get out of line all day long, you just run directly into the paper shredder?
You know what I love about this? Not only is it a battle of the ages, 28 versus 41, but it's also kind of, this could be a great football match. I mean, the Netherlands versus Argentina.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right? This is just, now just a battle.
I was not aware that they had football teams over there. Would this guy be the quarterback, or?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
So
wait, do they do meters instead of 100 yards on the field? Is it?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Got to go 4 meters to get a first down.
4 meters for a first? Okay.
All right. De Jong's just thinking, like, okay, how do I play this? I've got the hand. I mean,
all in.
And he's just going to go all in. He's hoping his opponent's got something, and obviously Sagra has stepped in it. Now De Jong, who was behind when we started this heads-up match 1 hand ago, now it's 2 to 1.
That is awesome. That makes me almost wish I wasn't painfully alone.
Maybe one day, somebody, you'll be at a final table of a World Series of Poker event, and somebody will be cheering you on like that.
I mean, yes, I just don't think I could afford that kind of hourly.
It is interesting that at a table filled with, a lot of newcomers here and 5 players who made their very first final table at the World Series of Poker, we do have 2 players who have significant finishes.
The cream rises to the top. Ooh.
De Jong on the button with ace-4.
Maybe 20?
The fake aces.
20?
Sagar with just 18 big blinds behind.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Hello. De Jong limps in. Sagra.
Well, I don't see how this doesn't go in.
I mean, 18 bigs. You don't need to get ace-4 in if you don't want to.
I mean, aren't you like limp trapping here?
It certainly seems that's what Sebastian is doing. Ignacio going to take it upstairs. Can we get this man some pink chips? So the limp in from De Jong, presumably to trap, as Stape said. There it is. The all-in, the call, and it's ace-4 versus ace-queen.
This is a reverse trap.
As-4 tegen as-vrouw.
The trapper has become the trap-e.
Yep, this could be it. Sagra at risk, but a strong favorite to double up.
Yeah, big suck out, and it's over. De Jong takes the bracelet and the 300K plus. No,
10 high flop.
No violence yet, yeah.
De Jong looking for a 4. Or possibly some chop outs.
That's none of those things, is it?
No, it is not. 4 spades, 4 hearts, 4 clubs. That will bail De Jong out and end the tournament. Otherwise, we continue.
And they flip-flop. Flippity floppity.
I believe that's the actual technical term for what just happened.
Catch you on the flippity.
We're going to count those out. That is our man Tiger taking care of it. Ignacio, little side eye to his friends, the fist bump, and he is now in the driver's seat. More than a 2-to-1 chip advantage for the Argentinian.
The catbird seat, some might call it.
So Ignacio Sagra on 42.6 million, Sebastian De Jong on 19 million. As we look at our PokerStars leaderboard, blinds are once again up. So there were 50 big blinds in play. We're gonna have less than that going forward. And feels like the writing is on the wall, Joe.
The writing's been on the wall for a while, though, so who the hell knows?
Yep, we are 800,000, 1.6 million.
The effective stack is 15 big blinds. That's the important thing. That belongs to De Jong.
Yeah, De Jong will have even less than that. I believe right about 13 now.
Oh, is that the old blinds?
I believe so.
It is. You're right. It's going to go down by 20%.
By the way, worth noting, players started this tournament, the 3,074 that started this tournament, they got 20,000 chips.
I love doing this, actually.
Like each big blind represents just hundreds and hundreds
of players,
screaming poker players who are screaming into the void. It's my idea, by the way. I want to.
Their souls go into the chips.
Yeah, I want to capture
like a Black Mirror episode. You're dark, buddy. Sagra's limping in. Oh, that's just his blind. My bad.
Call?
Yeah, small blind.
Now he's limping in.
All right, small blind on the button. In heads-up play, button actually acts first pre-flop, gets that glass post-flop. De Jong taps his chips, says, let's see a flop.
Every time I do a home game tournament, I have to look up who gets the button and what happens with it.
Jack high flop.
Top pair.
Yeah, this is a cooler heads-up. I mean, top pair versus middle pair.
I don't know, man. Coolers like this haven't really developed into much. But we are on our 4th flop of the entire day.
And both these players guaranteed $223,000. Interesting, De Jong does like to lead out.
Yeah, we've seen him lead out with top pair a couple of times. This time, Sagra may just be too strong to get away from it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere just yet. I mean, 2.9, you got middle pair. You have to imagine that De Jong is doing this with draws.
To me, this is almost always second pair in a draw. Now, you have second pair, so that's a little weird.
Sagra makes the call. turns a club. Sagra now picks up a flush draw.
I think if you bet and got called once, I would bet again. You're not always up against a flush draw.
No, I think poker players, especially recreational players, are irrationally afraid of like the flush. Just kind of being afraid of the monsters under your bed. It's really hard to make a flush, like really, really hard.
Buddy, I really do have a monster under my bed though.
You might be the exception then.
It can't get me as long as I stay covered.
Young's wife watching on. She personally is sponsored by Red Bull. Now Sagra's trying to figure out, okay, what kind of hand would you do this with? I can't beat the draw anymore. What hand are you leading out with?
Some straight draws maybe that you're ahead of might do this, but do you really want to double up your opponent right now? Do you really want stacks to be even again?
I was gonna say like what, like a 10-8?
I guess the 9 of clubs is backup, but you know, 10-8 might have a club in it. You know, it might be the 10 of clubs.
I mean, if you're thinking they have straight draws, having the 9 in your hand is not particularly good though, because 10-9.
That's true.
9-8.
A lot of them would contain a 9. You're right about that.
But the 9 of clubs in particular.
So then you have to start thinking how many jacks are going to play it this way. It is odd.
And there's always that creeping thought in your head where you go, if I call and I'm right, it's over. I could just win.
I forget about that, considering we know that it's not over.
Right.
But you're right. That thought is going through a player's head. Can I hero call here and just put this to bed?
Yeah. It's hard to make a pair. He's got second pair, and it's going in the muck. Nice laydown. De Jong's going to pick up that one. Sagra still in the lead.
Do we think De Jong gets more value if he plays that hand more conventionally? Now, the good news is that by leading, Sagra wasn't allowed to check, and De Jong got to set the price he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of imagine that Jack 3 versus 9-7, probably a one street hand in terms of value, but who knows? Yeah, to your point, though, I mean, maybe Sagra gets to see the river, though, and realizes equity. They played differently. Bracelet sitting between these two players. It'll be their first one for one of these players. And that's got to be on their minds. It's just so difficult and almost unrealistic as a poker player to think that you'll get into a situation like this multiple times. So when you get there, you want to close it.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the pressure. Knowing how lucky you would have to run to get to this spot in the first place. No offense, but to make it to heads up in a poker tournament, generally you've gotten lucky a whole bunch of times to get there.
I do always fall back on the fact that Norman Shad once made a final table at the World Series of Poker, so if he can do it.
Wasn't that in 1978 when there were like 8 people in every event and they would vote on the winner?
Something like that. Sagra once again with 9-7, once again with the 9 of clubs.
Little late for diamonds. It's always coming 7.
Yeah, Sagra not going to bet again. Try to give his opponent enough rope to hang himself, I imagine.
I mean, De Jong has a hand that you might not want to show down. They're checking it down all the way, right? I mean, it feels really safe to bet a 7 at this point.
Yeah, it's the question of, can you get value from worse, the way you played the hand. And De Jong going to try to tell a story that he was checking something back and now is suddenly going to bet it. I mean, maybe king high. That could make sense. I don't think he's checking back a 10 on the turn on the flop. I don't think he's checking back a queen on the turn. I don't know if he's betting a 7 at this point, but you know, could he have a king? And
nice.
Sagra does not believe it. The story doesn't make sense. He goes, listen, you got a king, you show it to me.
Which is why, when I said he may not want to show down 4 deuce, you kind of need to start telling that story a little bit earlier. If you show no interest in the pot whatsoever and then just try to bluff the river and for a really reasonable amount, you might get stationed.
Yeah, and there's always something I try to bring up. When you start bluffing on the river, your opponent doesn't have to worry about any subsequent bets coming. It's just, okay, I can call this and I can show down. I'm either right or I'm wrong.
Right.
But there is that fear that if my opponent, if you bet the turn, there's always the fear of, well, if I call this,
I'm going to face an even bigger bet on the river, possibly.
Right. What do I do on the river if he shoves? That kind of thought. And you don't have to worry about that in the river.
De Jong down to 11 bigs now.
And again, there's only 38 big blinds in play, so.
Got another limp in from Sagra. De Jong's going to flick him in for a check. 7-4 versus 5-4.
And a whole bunch of nothing on this one.
Heart's somewhat relevant.
We're really rich, huh?
We really are, Dave.
I like this, though. I mean, Sagra's just like, I've got nothing. You know, maybe there's some turn cards that'll give me a draw. But my opponent's going to have a nothing a lot, and I'm just going to take it down.
And Sagra continues the bloodletting on Sebastian de Jong.
Ignacio's rail can almost feel it. As you can see, this chip lead now, about a 3-1 chip lead.
I mean, they don't have to feel it. They can see it. That stack is growing.
Sebastian trying to figure out how he can get back some of those chips.
Queen 4 is a raise, heads up. Now with 9 big blinds, however, it might just be an all-in situation.
3 million? 3.
Yeah, I don't quite get this. I get a limp.
So it's 3 point.
Well, I don't like the fold. I can understand the fold. I understand the shove.
Yeah.
The raise, I don't quite get what he's trying to achieve.
He's thinking outside the bun, Dave.
Okay, fair enough.
2 more, right?
I mean, the raise fold on a 9 big blind stack is almost Helmuthian.
Well, was not put to a test.
No,
to have to fold.
Sagra made the call.
Well, this
the chip's gonna go in here. I mean, this is
check, yeah.
really awkward spot.
Yeah.
Because de Jong's got a pair. There's an ace out there. He's got to know that if his opponent had an ace, he probably would have shoved pre. So he's not worried about the ace. He also blocks club with the queen. I kind of feel like the chips are going in. De Jong's going to bet 3.2.
I am a little bit worried about the
One more? Yeah.
min raise and the not all-in bet on the flop. However, just way too much equity with the flush draw. Such a slam dunk. And I'll be pleasantly surprised if I get to showdown against a pair of 4s and I got 2 overs and a club draw.
All right, you realize obviously 10 high, I'm not ahead. I'm often going to be up against a pair. But this is a pretty good situation for Sagra to get it in. He's got overs, he's got the flush draw.
Olim?
And he does move all in. And I just think de Jong is kind of committed at this point. Again, I just don't think Sagra is. I think Sagra is moving all in with an ace, right? We agree there? Pre?
We do agree there that some kind of re-raise.
All right, so it just feels like this is pretty draw heavy. See if Sebastian can figure this out. I don't think he can put like.
Is it ever? Is it no? I think all pairs probably too are re-raising pre-flop. So.
I mean, I'm sure there are times where, you know, there's a trap going on or something, but I just don't know how you put in about 40% of your chips, then fold when you have a pair.
Are you ever in good shape here? Like, sure, there's lots of clubs, but it's almost always going to be 2 overs in clubs.
Yeah, it's never. I mean, even if your opponent has 5-6, it's a straight draw. You're not loving it. It's hard to imagine
2
a scenario
overs
where
with straight draws also.
the problem is the pot's just laying you too much of a price. I mean, you have 8 million left. There's 22.7 in there. You're getting, you know, almost 3 to 1. There's no ICM considerations.
Right.
You can't ladder up.
So it's not an ace very often. Is it a 7 sometimes, and you're in jail?
Yeah, that's the nightmare when it's a 7.
Because you can be reasonably sure your opponent doesn't have an ace either if you're Sagra.
Well, DeYoung did raise pre. And so, I mean, he theoretically could have an ace, right?
Could have an ace, but I don't know.
I mean, DeYoung's probably wishing he just checked back the flop at this point.
DeYoung makes the call.
He does. Cards are on their back.
Flush draw tegen
This could be it.
This
Sagra with 10-8 suited. DeYoung with queen 4.
A dead heat statistically. Like Red Bull versus Metamucil. One of these two things has a small mathematical advantage.
It is DeYoung who is at risk. The triangle in the wrong spot there. Another 4. That's good news for DeYoung. Sagra now needs a flush. The outs are on the top of your screen. There's 7 of them. Those cards end the tournament. Otherwise, we continue.
Notice the ace of clubs is missing.
Ace of spades on the river.
Come on.
And Sebastian doubles up. 50-50, it goes to that man right there, and we continue on. And by the way, we're basically even in chips.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, exactly even in chips.
They're playing for a bracelet. We'll take a look here. Sebastian DeYoung with 31 million. Ignacio Sagra on 30.6 million. Leaderboard brought to you by Poker Stars. What are they playing for? $112,000 and, of course, a World Series of Poker bracelet. Event 59 continues. By the way, you'd think, okay, double up, they're even, we're going to have some heads-up poker. We're still under 20 bigs.
We are still considered quite short.
Took Sebastian a while to figure that out, but I just think, yeah, once you put nearly 7 million of your 16 million in the pot, you can't fold. You know, if your opponent shows you a better hand, you just tap the table and you move on. But good call from him.
Good call, good hold.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, that's just, once you see the flop on that one, there's really no way the chips weren't going in. So back to work. The Argentinian against the Dutchman.
Raise 3.2.
Sagra going to raise now.
3.2?
Yeah.
Now it's time to get serious.
Min raise 3.2. That's 1.6 million for DeYoung to call. He does not call despite being suited. Hey, Joe, have you ever thought about leveling up your game?
Not even once.
Well, there you go. Well, you or anybody can upgrade to PokerGo VIP and get everything in the annual subscription. Plus, this is the important thing, access to over 100 elite training videos from poker legends like Phil Galfond, Jason Kuhn, and Jungle Man. For a limited time, VIPs also score a merch credit. And we saw about that merch from earlier on. To the PokerGo shop. Don't just watch, learn, play, and win with PokerGo VIP. Upgrade now at PokerGo.com.
I do like merch.
Love merch.
I pay for a PokerGo subscription.
How many?
I'm not a VIP though.
You can become a VIP by going to PokerGo.com. Do it now.
I only pay so that I can watch myself on No Gamble, No Future twice a year.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
Very entertaining. I've watched it a lot. Sagra with deuces. I do love the players are still like raising, as if there's room for that.
Buddy, this hasn't mattered for a long time.
It's fantastic.
What if we've had the stacks wrong the whole time and we're missing a 0?
Right.
And they both have 160 and 220 big blinds. And it's actually the fastest a tournament has ever gotten to heads up.
I mean, it's been about 3 hours. That's it. So we are at hand 69, Joe.
Lol. It would make sense if this was hand 69. If it seems like it's going to be really exciting and then turns out to be nothing.
Oh, sorry.
Pink chips are 500K. Blues are 100,000. By the way, scheduling note tomorrow. I believe it'll be me and you again.
Yeah, buddy, I'm back.
The Millionaire Maker.
I mean, I assume I'm back. We'll see. But I'm scheduled to be back. Pocket Kings for Sagra.
No, it's completely appropriate to have a limping range at this point, and I think Kings would be kind of a nice hand to do it with. You know, it's obviously certainly reasonable to raise. You've got Kings.
Ooh, King 4 suited. That is certainly playable.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, DeYoung should be calling this. There's no doubt. A minimum calling it. But I think when you're on a 16 big blind stack, there's nothing wrong with limping.
All in.
Call.
Oh my gosh, DeYoung just moved all in. A snap call. And this is not what you're looking for.
Koning tegen koning 4.
This,
wow.
Koning 4.
This should be it.
This could very well be it.
See you, Reggie.
And unless our chip counts are wrong, Sagra has him covered.
Sorry.
Pot is nearly 51 million chips.
Who cover?
You cover, I think.
I cover, yeah.
Yeah. I got 26.
Sagra 5 cards away from his first ever World Series of Poker bracelet.
88% of the time he is going to win the bracelet on this hand.
Oh?
Oh, no.
A jack chops it.
A jack chops it.
As you mentioned, hand 69.
All exciting at first, and then it turns out to be...
Oh, wait a second. This could be worse.
Oh, boy.
This could go from maybe a chop to maybe a loss. DeYoung now with 20% equity, looking for a diamond on the river. This would be disgusting. A jack chops it, a diamond wins it for DeYoung. Otherwise, the tournament is over.
That's right.
The river. It's the jack.
Oh, man. What a lucky river for DeYoung. I guess it's not worst case scenario for Sagra, who went from being an 88% favorite
8.
to only a 73% favorite on the river.
I gotta tell you, if I'm DeYoung, I'm actually disappointed. I'm yelling. I'm throwing my cards at the dealer and go, "Hey, where's the diamond, buddy?
My diamond, you punk."
Now the interesting thing is, you know, if you're Ignacio, you're watching that, you're thinking, how unlucky I got.
Casi 40.
I do want to point out, and I think Ignacio certainly remembers this, he was 2 cards away from being eliminated an hour and a half ago.
Sure. He got pretty lucky, won a lot of those semi-flips.
Yeah.
I mean, he was down to 3 big blinds at one point.
From 3 to 6 to 12 to 24 to 22 right now, but that's because the blinds have gone up significantly since then.
3-2.
That was certainly a get-out-of-jail-free card.
And now it's De Jong's turn with a monster. Will his hold up because this money is going in again?
Sagra with ace-4. De Jong raising on the button with queens. Is this even real? All in.
Go.
There's a call.
Can't be happy when you're called that quick.
Flower.
Sagra can win it with an ace.
Queens against ace-4.
Otherwise, De Jong, the overwhelming chip leader. One hand after chopping with king-4 versus kings. You're now in a great shape to be the overwhelming chip leader, but 29% of the time, Sagra will walk away with the bracelet right here.
Sí, A4.
Four on the flop.
Any 4, any ace. Ignacio, 28-year-old from Argentina, looking for his first bracelet, needs an ace or a 4. Or a spade. 12 outs. Is this the last card of the tournament? Another deuce. Emotions running high. And now it's De Jong with an overwhelming chip lead.
This feels like almost certain doom for Ignacio Sagra at this point. Down to 5 bigs. He's been here before. There's been comebacks galore, but this might be the last breath.
And it's really amazing when you think about it. Kings versus king-4 for your first ever bracelet.
Chop.
You get a chop, and then the next hand, you run ace-4 into queens, and now you're 5 big blinds.
And the queens hold.
Of course.
Is this part of it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff here at the World Series of Poker. Thank you for joining us. PokerStars bringing you the leaderboard. Sebastian De Jong on 52.4 million. Ignacio on 9.2 million. You can do the math, and it doesn't look pretty for Mr. Sagra right now. The 28-year-old is behind the 8 ball.
Knock, knock, Nacho on heaven's door.
Yeah, again, if Sebastian wins this, he will be basically at $1 million for tournament winnings for his life. He'll take home his first ever bracelet. He has never had a 6-figure score before. A lot of firsts going on, possible for Sebastian. But we have seen crazier things.
Who knew that Battle of the Ages would contain so many virgins?
Okay.
What a great feeling this must be. Oh, speaking of the opposite of that.
Yeah.
He's drooping.
1-2.
The poker gods giveth and they taketh away. And I always marvel at how the players can just kind of get through it from a psychological point of view. Sagra on the button with just 5 big blinds. Can't really find too many folds here, but he is gonna fold.
Well, this is hilarious. You know why? Because the blinds are going up.
There you go. Blinds are up. Sagra down to 4 big blinds. Listen, I have not studied 4 big blind poker too much. I'm not an expert in this regard.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
Exactly. Well, we know that. That said, I don't believe you can find too many folds when you're on 4 big blinds in heads-up play. I
think
you probably got to get it in.
Also, I mean, the big blinds going in here, which leaves Sagra with 2 big blinds.
This is level
Yeah,
41.
right?
I'm all in.
4? Okay, all in.
Well, De Jong is all in.
I call.
I mean, I barely think you need to look.
All in.
There's the call. Let's see what they have. Cards are on the back. De Jong with Jack-9. Oh,
Jack-9.
Sagra dominated.
Against
Pretty
Jack-4.
unlucky to be in such a bad spot.
Boer 9 tegen Boer 4.
My thoughts exactly.
Bunefia.
De Jong on the brink of his first ever World Series of Poker bracelet. Does the Jack-9 hold? Or can the Argentinian make a comeback?
We have seen a lot of 4s.
There's a 9 though.
That is pretty much lights out for Sagra.
Needs running cards.
Very likely to be dead on the turn.
And he is.
Dead.
That is it. Sebastian De Jong can't believe it. Hands on his head. He has won his first ever World Series of Poker bracelet. Hands in the air.
Can I do it?
Take it away, Joe.
The battle of the ages goes to De Jong.
Oh my God.
Ignacio Sagra, our runner-up, will take home $223,000. A fantastic tournament for the 28-year-old from Argentina. But it's all for the Netherlands. Sebastian De Jong,
Wow, so sick.
41 years old, celebrates the victory with his wife and his friends. He'll add $335,000 to his poker bankroll and his first ever World Series of Poker bracelet. What a day, Joe.
What a day indeed. A lot of laddering up today. A lot of people holding on for dear life, but it's only Sebastian De Jong who walks with the $335,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. In this final table, we had five players making their first time final table here at the World Series of Poker. You could see the nerves, just a lot of excitement, and this is what it's all about here. We'll be back here tomorrow. More action from the World Series of Poker. It's going to be Joe and me once again covering the Millionaire Maker. You do not want to miss a second of that. And before we go off the air, we'll congratulate Sebastian De Jong one last time. First time bracelet winner, $335,000 richer. For PokerGo, for everybody here at the World Series of Poker, and of course, for my good friend Joe Stapleton, I am David Tuckman. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back here tomorrow. Good night.